Hey guys, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. Today we will see what if Naruto wants nothing to do with Kushina. If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. There he stood in the middle of the forest with shock written over his face. Tears ran down his face each time he continued to read the letter he found with the forbidden scroll. What hurt the blonde child more was that letter came from his own father. He read it again wishing it wasn't real. To whom that may find this I have committed a great sin. I knew what my son Naruto was going to go through. Naruto, if you are the one reading this letter, forgive me for you may not be seen as the hero I wanted you to be. I only hope that Kushina protect you for I cannot. Naruto, you may never be able to forgive me for what I must have done. As Hokage it is my job and duty to protect my village and its peoples. A Hokage must always put his own personal needs before the village for it must come first and always first. Please try to understand that this was the only way, for now, to stop Uchiha Madara. He's the one that summoned Kyuubi, and everything I did he saw through it. However, he didn't count on me sealing it in you. Beware of him for I fear he will one day come after you. Be strong my son and take care of your twin sister Carrie and your mother. Love your father. Namikaze Minato. All this time it was your fault. Every hateful glare I had to endure. Every beating and all of this loneliness was because of you sealing that thing in me. I hope you rot for all I care. He folds the letter up and places it away in his pants pocket. Naruto turned his attention to the forbidden scroll. Might as well help myself before Mizuki-sensei show up. Later that day, after learning that Mizuki had used him and hated him because of the Kyuubi, and then learning that Iruka cared about him, Naruto summoned 1,000 shadow clones. He lay the smack down on Mizuki, and gave the traitor a beating he would never forget. After spending time with Iruka at the ramen shop, and after Iruka got healed up, Iruka gave him a leaf headband signaling that he was a genin now. Naruto wanted to be happy but found it very hard to be so. He found himself growing angry instead. Then an Anbu showed up and told Naruto that he was summoned to the council room by the Hokage and council. Now he stands before them knowing all too well that these people resent him also. He didn't need this, he has too much on his plate to be playing games with these people. Uzumaki Naruto, you're brought here today to explain your actions involving the forbidden scroll. So said the third Hokage. Naruto stood there not saying a word. He was looking down so no one can see his eyes as his bangs covered them. This behavior angered the council. In their eyes this was a sign of disrespect. The third Hokage knew what Naruto was going through for he had foreseen the entire fight. However, his job as a Hokage kept him from showing favoritism for any one ninja. With this in mind, Sarutobi sighed and called for order. One council member had had enough, and she stood up with her ninja dog by her side. Answer us now, you're in our presence, yelled Sume. Namikaze Minato, were the only words to exist his mouth. Everyone except for the third Hokage were very confused by what he said. What does this have to do with Minato-san-child? Asked Hiashi. He ruined my life. My own father cursed me to a life of pain and suffering. Naruto shouted out in a mixture of pain and rage. The council exploded in an uproar, shouting for his head and calling him a liar. Naruto pulled out the letter and set it down on the table with force. Shikaku, head of the Nara clan, grabbed the letter and started to read it, blocking out the entire shouting until his eyes widened on what he reading. What the? Naruto really is Minato's son, shouted Shikaku. The council immediately stooped arguing and gathered around, reading the letter. Their eyes grew wide when they finally comprehended what they're reading. Naruto, please, you must understand, said the third, only to be cut off by the boy. What's there to understand other that he knew I would live a messed up life of hate? Wow, he was truly a hero and genius, he said as he spat on the floor like there was acid in his mouth. Your father did what was best for the village. The third tried to explain. Did he do what was best for me? By making me the village scapegoat? That man lost the right to call himself my father. I denounce him as my father and I don't want anything to do with him. But I want to know where my sister is and the one called Kushina, which I assume is my mother. Naruto said. Kushina? As in the Red Death? Uzumaki Kushina? Asked Choza in surprise. My god, how did we not see it? Her name is Uzumaki, how did we miss that? He added. Well, old man? Naruto asked, ignoring the council's mutterings. Naruto, please, it's best not to ask that. This is something you do not want to know, trust me. said the third. Why won't you tell me? I can't, it's for your own protection. I see now. Let me guess, my family hates me as if I am the demon itself. Well, that's just preachy, said Naruto. The third didn't answer, instead he looked away. Naruto didn't like how the old man looked away, for he got the answer he needed now. One councilman who is in shock decided to voice his fears. My god, the village's first betrayer still alive? How can Uchiha Madara still be alive? The first Hokage killed him at the Valley of the End. Or maybe not, it's possible he found a way to live longer. One thing is for sure, we now have to assume that the rumor of the Uchiha controlling the Kyuubi with their eyes is true. Maybe this will explain why Itachi did what he did. Another member of the council said in a grim tone. It's troublesome to think about it, but you may be right. Shikaku added. Hiashi looked towards Naruto with sadness. This is what it must feel like for a child to resent their relative. He thought of Neji and how he changed for the worse. Then he thought of his two daughters and how they must felt towards him considering the way he treated them. However, his thoughts fell on his longtime friend Minato with the greatest shame. It pained him to witness the son of his best friend hate his own father. Perhaps this is their punishment for not treating Naruto the way he should have been treated. As a hero. His thoughts ended when he heard Tsume make the biggest mistake to come out her mouth. So when will Naruto, son of Minato, be placed under the Clan Restoration Act? Grr, did no one listen to a fucking word I said? I denounced that man and there will not be another Namikaze. In fact, no more Uzumaki. I'm just Naruto until I get a better name. Naruto snarled in rage. But he is your father. He saved this village many times. He is an honorable man full of wis. He is not honorable, you stinking mutt-faced bitch. His eyes turned to crimson red with slits for pupils. He releases enough killing intent to alarm the Anbu. They stood ready, surrounding the blonde waiting for the first move. Naruto, calm down, this is not the way to handle things, Sarutobi said. Naruto listened to the old man, and once his eyes went back to normal, the Anbus vanished back from which they came. Naruto, if this is path you decided to take, then it's your own choice, although I don't wish it, Sarutobi said in a sad tone. But Lord Hokage, whined Tsume, let it be for now. Naruto, you may go, but we will finish this at a later time. Old man, it's already finished, dead, buried and gone. For the record, I was tricked into stealing the forbidden scroll by Mizuki Teme. He walked out very upset while rubbing his eyes. After he left, Hiashi asked the question that was bugging everyone's mind. Were the Uchiha clan in on it? Were they a part of Madara's plans? Is that why they were slaughtered? Someone asked. I don't know if they were or not. However, I do know that they were planning a coup against me to overtake the village. The massacre was the only way to keep a civil war from happening. I tried talking with them through a peaceful channel, but that backfired. Itachi agreed to this only for his brother to live and one day bring honor to Uchiha name. His only wish was for Sasuke to never learn the truth. For if he learns what really happened, he will walk down the same path as Orochimaru himself. The third explained. Everyone got quiet from what they heard until Shikaku decided to break the silence. So I'm guessing Itachi is a spy working for us? He is, but I cannot go into further detail on what he's doing. For that matter, Sasuke must not know the truth until he shows signs of being stable. But Lord Hokage, said Inoichi, who was shoved in his side by Choza. No, Inoichi, don't you get it? If the people of this village learned about the truth of why the Kyuubi showed up, well, I feel that this village will have a war with itself that will never stop. Whispered Choza, in which both of them looked towards Shikaku, whom in return noted back to them. One must think of Naruto. Said Gen, which got the room to be quiet once again, allowing each individual to follow in their own guilt trip. The one who felt the guiltiest was the third, wishing he could found a way to prevent the growing hatred the boy had against his own father. I failed him and his father. I don't know what's worse, Minato rolling in his grave on how the village and his loved ones treated his son, or the hate that Naruto must have against his father. Lord Hokage, did Kushina abandon Naruto? Asked Tsume. What I'm going to say is a triple S secret. Kushina did more than abandon Naruto, she tried to kill him. Sarutobi said with a sigh. What? Both Choza and Inoichi shouted at the same time, jumping out their seats in disbeliefs. I tried many times to tell her that Naruto was her son, but she was in too much pain to see the truth. She requested to get away from the village for a while, which I allowed, but not without sending a few Anbu with her. She took Kari, Naruto's twin sister with her. They will be returning before the Chunin exam. During that time I will see if Kushina changed, but for now Naruto mustn't know she is returning. He forgot about her at a young age due to the abuse she gave him back then. No, more like he blocked it out not wanting to remember. Sarutobi said with a sad look on his face. It's so hard to see that happen with Naruto. Minato was my best friend and if I knew about Naruto being his son earlier the Hyuga clan would have taken him in. Isn't there anything we can do? Asked Hiyashi. At the moment nothing can be done but even if he doesn't want to accept Minato as his father, Naruto is of noble blood. He will be placed with the CRA to bring back the Namikaze clan. Right now give him his space for we will have a bigger problem if he decided to unleash the Kyuubi's power any more than he already has. This meeting is over. We will discuss more on this at a later time. Each of them began to leave, some thinking of making plans for the blonde as he would soon be in the CRA law. Only the Hokage stood behind, his eyes glued on the picture of the fourth Hokage. With Naruto. Since he left the council and went back home, Naruto had been trashing his place, trying to take his anger out on something. He hit the walls, broke windows, threw chairs around, and tore up the wallpaper. None helped to cool his head until he thought of one thing, ramen. He decided to pay another visit to Ichiraku noodle shop, this time alone. He walked out the home not caring if he forgot to close his door. Hours later, Naruto whom had 5 ramen was still angry but now was cooling down due to being around his favorite people. Only Ayame was running the shop now as her father caught a cold and went home early. She looked at Naruto with sadness knowing something was wrong. Naruto, deep in thought, pondered on what he wanted to do. Some part of him said he should leave this land but he decided against that for he was a ninja now and he knew that if he left he would be marked as a noob nin. No he now know he will continue his dream of becoming Hokage except he will show some of these fools what a real demon looked like. His thoughts came to an end when Ayame handed him a gift-wrapped present. Naruto took it but was hesitant to open it. Instead he stared at it. Go on Naruto-kun, open it up. To Naruto, besides getting the headband, this was the first time he got a real gift from somebody that wasn't the old man. Nervous at first he began to open it slowly. It turned out it was ninja gear but in black. He saw it was a black ninja tunic shirt with light orange gauntlet gloves that act like sleeves. It also came with black shinobi pants and black shinobi sandals boots. And last it came with an orange scarf long enough that it could be a ponytail. Thank you Ayame-chan. Oh I can't take all the credit. The scarf is from me but everything else came from a girl. I believe that she goes to school with you. She smiled knowing about Hinata's crush on him. A girl I go to the academy with? Can't be Sakura or Ino. I don't think I know who it is. He said with a contemplative look on his face. Ayame sighed at this but what could she expect? He never learned about love or crushes. She made a mental note to help her little brother out. Don't worry Naruto you'll find out one day but do wear the outfit, trust me it's no trick. Okay I won't neglect this gift. That's my Naruto. So you want another one on the house? She asked only to see him smile and shake his head happily. Behind the corner near the shop. Oh Naruto-kun I hope this gift will cheer you. You seemed so mad earlier since I saw you with Iruka-sensei. I'm so happy you became a genin after all. I must go before father begins to worry where I am. Hang in there Naruto-kun. With Naruto. After having another bowl of ramen he bid his farewell and thanks to Ayame. On his way back home his eyes began to strain. He kept trying to rub his eyes with his free hand while carrying his gift in a bag in the other hand. It didn't work and to make matters worse he sensed trouble. Hey look the demons having eyes problems. Naruto barely saw the crowd as it was about 20 of them mixed with men and women. But he did notice they were carrying weapons of knives and pitchforks. Look ass clowns I'm in a bad fucking mood so leave me alone. He said rubbing his eyes like crazy now. This made the villagers angrier. Monster you killed our loved ones. My husband and son is gone cause of you. You hell spawn, demon child. These poor foolish souls drove only on hate and sorrow for their loved ones. Tonight they had bitten off more than they could chew. Naruto opened his eyes. The color no longer blue but now golden which looked like the pits of hell. What scared them most was looking at him in the eyes as all that was felt was madness and their screams soon pierced the night. 12 minutes later. Neko what do you think happened here? Asked an Anbu wearing a fish mask. He noticed the dead bodies, some without their heads attached. "It looks like a suicide murder," said the female Anbu wearing a cat mask, her purple hair blowing the wind. "Someone was here but I can't tell due to the fresh blood covering this person's scent." "I think it's a male," said another female Anbu wearing a wolf mask. "Wolf, find out what you can then inform Lord Hokage on what has happened. Fish, help me clean up this mess." Quote, "Yes ma'am," both of them replied. With Naruto. Inside the bathroom, Naruto stared at the mirror, a smile creeping on his face. He didn't care he killed civilians tonight. No, what was more rewarding was finding out he have a bloodline ability. He stared beautifully at his golden eyes. "With this power I will become Hokage and show the land of fire my might. I think I'll call these eyes the Kyogen." Next day, the Ninja Academy was a place where children were trained as weapons for their village. Strong ninja came from this very building. Some of the greatest to ever grace the village started in the academy like Jiraiya, Orochimaru, Tsunade, Itachi, Minato, and Kakashi. Today that very building would forever be responsible for one that would change the land of fire as we know it. With Hinata. "Naruto-kun, you're actually wearing the outfit. I'm so happy," thought the Hyuga princess. "Hey Hinata-chan," said a boy with brown spiky hair and a white pup on top of his head. "I hope you okay today," she thought as she ignored the person behind her. "Hinata-chan," he said once again until he noticed where she was looking at. Then he noticed the small blush on her face as she stared at what he called the dead last. He grew angry at this and decided to do something about it. He felt he needed to impress his crush and to show her who the top dog really was. He got up and walked right in front of the newly dressed Naruto, not caring for the new look. He stood right next to Naruto growling along with his dog. Naruto pulled his scarf down from his mouth and looked right at the boy. "Listen Mutt, I'm busy, go shadow over someone else," Naruto said in a dismissive tone. "Hey, how did a dead last such as yourself get here? This is for those who passed, so get out of here, loser," Kiba said with a sneer. "Kiba, I'm warning you," Naruto said as his eyes hardened. "Are you what, loser? Yo, can't breathe, let go of me," Kiba cried out in shock and pain. Naruto was choking him with one hand and was bringing him closer, while the dog barked almost like it was trying to say let him go. Everyone in class noticed and started shouting fight over and over. Hinata grew afraid and was praying Naruto won't do something that would get him in very big trouble. Naruto head-butted Kiba into another student, taking both of them down. The dog got up and stand in between his master, growling and baring his teeth, waiting for the order to attack. Kiba, who got his nose busted, struggled to get up while the other student broke his fall. "Akamaru, sick him boy," the dog growled much louder and was about to charge. "That's enough. No fighting in my classroom," Iruka yelled in anger. "But Iruka-sensei, Naruto hit me," yelled Kiba. "You provoked him, Kiba, and stop acting like a child. You're a genin of the leaf, so act like one. Naruto, you do not hit a fellow shinobi. You'll get in more trouble, especially if you're from the same village." "Sorry Iruka-sensei, won't happen again, right Kiba?" He sent a look towards the other boy. The message that was in his eyes was clear. "You're a dead man. Now class, take your seats." Right then two girls came through the door at the same time arguing. "Well, forehead, I win once again." "Oh please Ino pig, I won. My toes reached the door before you, so now I can sit next to Sasuke." "Dream on forehead. Pig. Billboard brow. Pig. Grr, I'm moving to another seat." Naruto went and sat with Hinata, causing the poor girl to blush even more. "Hey, I was sitting there," Kiba yelled in anger, as if mutt face. "Hey Hinata, did you see Kiba sitting next to you?" Naruto asked. "I don't think so. No, he wasn't sitting here," she said, touching her fingers together. But Kiba felt hurt that Hinata didn't notice his presence. "Sit down now," screamed Iruka. The pink-haired girl dove right for the middle seat next to her crush, a boy with black hair shaped as a duck's ass. The blonde ponytail girl grew angry at this and sat behind the boy. Kiba, upset and hurt, sat next to the pink-haired girl. Hinata kept looking at her crush, thinking on what her father told her this morning. Flashback. "Hinata, listen well. I know about your crush on one Uzumaki Naruto," said Hiyashi. "Father, I can explain. It's all right, in fact I allow it," he said as he calmly sipped his tea. Hinata's expression was one of the utmost shock and disbelief. He is a perfect choice for you and he has potential to become something great like his father. You know who his father is? She asked. Yes, but I cannot reveal his name otherwise Naruto will be in danger. His father had a lot of enemies. But know this, his father is a hero but that's all I can say. I understand father. Now if he becomes your lover then you have my blessing to get wed with him. It will help his clan and our clan by becoming one. She blushed from that comment and almost nearly fainted from the fantasy of her and Naruto being married. Go you be late for the academy. Yes father. Flashback end. Hello? Earth to Hinata? I asked if you alright? Naruto said as he waved a hand in front of her face. Sorry Naruto-kun. I'm alright just lost in thought. She said quickly. Okay, Naruto said while giving her a strange look. Team 7 will be Uzumaki Naruto. It just Naruto-sensei. I no longer carry that woman's last name. Naruto said as he corrected Iruka. This got Iruka to lift his left eyebrow though he decided to ask him later on so that he continue with the list. Anyway, Haruno Sakura. No, yelled the pink-hair girl. Ha billboard brow. You're stuck with the dead last. Ino taunted. And Uchiha Sasuke, said Iruka. Yay. Ha true love conquers all, Ino pig. She said as she jumped up in joy mocking Ino. No I wanted to be on Naruto-kun's team. Thought Hinata with a sad look on her face. With Naruto. Let me think. I have a fangirl ninja wannabe, and a boy that thinks he's as cool as a goth wannabe. On the plus side this will give me time to study more on this Uchiha scum. I would love to kill you Uchiha scum but I'll use you as bait to lure out that Uchiha Madara fellow. Then once I have both you two in the opening I kill you both. Sounds like a good plan but I need to train more and master my Kyogen. Naruto said his smile crept onto his face. Team 7 your sensei is Hitaki Kakashi. If I were your 3 I would kill time for he's the type who loves being late. Team 8 is Hyuga Hinata, Inazuka Kiba and Aburame Shino. Your sensei is Yuhi Kurenai Nu Jonin. Team 9 is Maido Sachi, Sado Renji and Demon Kira. Your sensei is Mitarashi Anko best of luck because trust me, you 3 will need it. Now Team 10 will consist of Yamanaka Ino, Nara Shikamaru and Akamichi Choji. Your sensei is Sarutobi Asuma and he's Lord Hokage's son so treat him with respect. That will be all await, here for your assigned senseis. Iruka said. Yahoo hey Hinata-chan how about you and me get something to eat before our sensei gets here? Hinata? Kiba asked as he looked around for the girl. Naruto-kun, here I made this rice ball for you. She said as she offered the food to him, not hearing what Kiba said. Damn you Naruto, that's my rice ball she giving you. Sure but first I need to go to the bathroom. He lied. Sure, she said, blushing more as she watched him leave the room. Outside the classroom. Time to test out that theory. Naruto performed a cross seal and whispered, Shadow Clones Jutsu. Out of the puff of smoke came 10 clones of Naruto. Some looked happy, angry and sad. The real Naruto cleared his throat to get their attention. Listen up, if what the Forbidden Scroll said about shadow clones is true, then I need you guys to do some research. Go to the library under a henge and borrow scrolls on chakra training, how to control it, tree climbing, water walking and a couple of low fire and wind jutsu scrolls. And also find out what my element is. Once you have the scrolls, study them and practice what it says. After you've had enough dispel yourselves. The information you guys learned should go to me. Now dismissed. Yes boss, they replied. Naruto watched them leave, a smile creeping on his face. I must make sure I get stronger if my dreams are to come true. But strength alone isn't all I need. I will need allies or should I say sheep to follow my commands. Might as well go back inside with these fools and wait for our so-called sensei. He thought as he walked back inside and headed back for his seat, watching Kiba bug Hinata who looked bored. Hey Mutt, you're boring her and being annoying, he said in a dismissive tone. Screw you dead loss. I'm not boring Hinata-chan. Come Hinata let's sit far away from him. I won't be able to eat if I smell dog shit boy and his wet dog. Naruto said as he ignored Kiba and looked at the Hyuga princess. He got up and moved far away from Kiba. Hinata followed right after Naruto with the snacks leaving a growling Kiba and Akamaru behind. Hinata offered Naruto the rice ball cake. Naruto started eating the food and he admitted that she could cook. Hinata watched Naruto eat, blushing more as she noticed he was enjoying the meal. Naruto did not miss the blush, in fact he started to think to himself. Why does she always stare at me? Why does her face look flushed? She's the only weird Hyuga that doesn't act all stuck up. I must research on female behavior. I have a hunch. If I'm right I think I found my first follower. Muahahahahaha, soon the land of fire will know my might and those who are against me will meet a swift end. Naruto though darkly. Thank you Hinata-chan, it was good. He said, adding the chan suffix as a test. You welcome Naruto-kun, she said, blushing more while playing with her fingers. It seems I may be right. She has a crush on me like I did for Sakura. She was probably the one who gave me this outfit, but why? What's her angle? It's possible she's using me under her clan orders. Maybe leading me into some form of ambush. It wouldn't be the first time I got attacked by some Hyugas. It happened to me before when I was 5, and it sure as hell won't happen again this time. I will get back at them, and she the key. He thought with hard eyes. Hours later, one by one the sensei came and picked up their genin. Hinata bid her farewell to Naruto as her sensei shone up and collected them. Only Team 7 was left in the room waiting. Sakura, who was talking to Sasuke and got turned down, looked towards Naruto, who sat across from them, not even looking at them. She didn't like this Naruto, for he frightened her. She never admitted it, but she missed the old dumb loud-mouthed Naruto. Now the one in front of her seemed to dark and quiet, almost like Sasuke except darker. She made a mental note to stay away from him for now until she get the courage to talk to him. Sasuke didn't care that Naruto changed. To him he feel that Naruto and Sakura would hold him back in his goal. Unknown to him, one of Naruto's goals was to kill him. Naruto thought his team was worthless and unstable. He felt that Sakura would become a hindrance to the group and Sasuke would never help his team out as he only cared for himself. Naruto agreed with him a little on this point as he cared nothing for them either. Naruto hadn't seen their sensei yet and he felt that he may soon hate the man for making him wait so long. Naruto also thought the man might hold a grudge against him like so many others did in the village. This would be a problem if Naruto didn't find a solution quick. Speaking of their sensei, where was he? Naruto kept tapping his foot, getting more pissed off. Finally the door to the classroom opened up and a man with silver hair peeked in. He wore the leaf headband covering his left eye and he wore the standard Jonin outfit plus the vest. Team 7, meet me on the rooftop of this building, the man said as he left. Sasuke got up and walked out. He was followed by Sakura. Where have I seen that hair before? Said Naruto as he got up and followed shortly. Academy rooftop. Now that we're all here, let's start with the introduction. Tell us your likes, hobbies, and dreams. Kakashi said. Sensei, can you go first? Asked Sakura. Fine, my name Hitaki Kakashi. What are my likes? I can't say. I have many hobbies, and my dreams. Well, that's personal and I can't say. We didn't learn much other than his name, thought Sakura. Interesting, he covered his likes, hobbies, and dreams on purpose so we can't read him. I can't do that or he'll know. The point to this little activity is to study us, so be it. I will act like the idiot for once so he won't suspect anything. If he tests our strength then I won't act. Naruto thought. Okay girlie, you're up. My Haruno Sakura. My likes. I mean my hobbies, and my dreams are. She tried to say but kept blushing at Sasuke. Okay. So what are your dislikes? Asked Kakashi. I hate Ino and… She looked at Naruto and noticed a dark glare daring her to say it. I hate only Ino. Okay, now you blonde. The name's Uzumaki. Naruto, believe it. My likes are ramen. My dislikes are the 5 minutes it takes to cook ramen. I also hate when people look down on me. My hobbies are training and pranks. My dream is to be the greatest Hokage so people will stop looking at me wrong and treat me with respect. He half lied. But you said not to call you Uzumaki? Sakura said in confusion. Haruno-sen, I don't know what you're talking about. He responded. Sasuke, say something. Her plea sounded desperate. Sasuke said nothing. Instead he believed that Naruto was just pulling her leg. Instead of answering he voiced his introduction. My name is Uchiha Sasuke. I don't like anything and I dislike everything. I have no hobbies. My dreams are more like a goal and it is to kill that man, and then revive my clan. He folded his hands together, resting it under his chin. As I thought, Kakashi thought with a sigh. Sasuke-kun is so cool, Sakura thought. A man? Is he referring to the one who killed his clan? I heard rumors it was one of their own who murdered the Uchihas. I must get more info on who it is that Sasuke hates and possibly fears. So Uchiha scum, enjoy your life for now, for soon I'm going to use you and destroy you. Naruto thought. Now that introduction is done. Allow me to say you're not genin yet. But we graduated, said Sakura in protest. Oh that, let's just say it was to see who possessed what it took to be in the ninja program. It's us Jonin that decide the real graduation test. Naruto, you alright? Kakashi asked as he gazed at the trembling boy. Yeah, just a mild headache. Naruto said as he held his head in pain. So it does work. I remember what my clones did. This will help speed up my experience and training. I must have my clones keep doing this, but for now I will have them do recon on the man who killed the Uchihas and Hitaki Kakashi. Something about him tells me that he's going to be my biggest problem when it comes to my dreams. Naruto thought as his headache subsided. So what's the test, Kakashi-sensei? Sakura asked and received a laugh in return. What's so funny? Asked Naruto. Oh, I don't think you can handle my test. HMPH, said Sasuke. My test is a survival test with a 50-50 chance of success. With Hinata at Training Ground 8. You have done well and you all passed my test. From now on you are a team and shinobi of the Hidden Leaf. Said a woman with red eyes. Auriite, shouted Kiba. Shino nodded. Hinata smiled a little. Team 8, go on home, for tomorrow we start your training. The team began to walk away until their sensei decided to say one thing. Hinata, hold on, I must speak with you. The rest of you go on home, she said. Shino kept walking while Kiba looked like he wanted to stay, but a look from their sensei said otherwise. Yes, Kurenai-sensei. Hinata, you must work more on your confidence, otherwise no one will take you serious. Hi. Hinata, do not feel threatened in any way. I've been looking after you for a long while, I'm just worried for you. How have things been at home? Is your father still being cold and uncaring? No, sensei, he changed, he's being nice to me now. Kurenai looked at her, finding it hard to believe that Hiyashi would change overnight. She had a bad feeling about this. Hinata, be careful, something doesn't feel right. I don't know what it is, but please be careful. Sensei, you think my dad wants something from Naruto-kun? Is it possible that he wants what Naruto has sealed inside of him? But it doesn't make sense, as Hiyashi wouldn't do something like this. Whatever it is he wants, I have no doubt he's using his daughter to get to Naruto. Hinata, be careful, okay, and keep a close eye with things around you. Hi sensei. Go on, I'll see you tomorrow, and remember what I told you. Hi sensei. She took off, leaving a worried behind Kurenai. Her goal was now to find the boy she loved. With Naruto. After meeting with Hitaki Kakashi and learning what type of test Team 7 would perform, Naruto found himself wandering around the village deep in thought. Tonight I will kill another villager to test out my Kyogen eyes, but before that I think I will create more clones and have them set up traps in Training Ground 7. Also I want to have them think of a plan just in case Bruder and his pink puppet refuse to team up with me. Knowing those two, I get the feeling I am going to have to do this alone. It's not hard to figure out the real meaning of this test. It's to see if we can work as a team. It would make sense, as I remember Iruka saying something about teamwork and stuff. Speaking of Iruka, I think I'll have a clone talk to him about Hinata blushing around me. I believe she has a crush on me and I want to make sure. Naruto looked up from the market area, watching from a distance, the fourth Hokage face on the sacred mountain. He bites down on his lower lip with his fang, drawing blood as his anger starts to build up. When I take over this village, I'm tearing down that face. He was so built up in anger that he barely heard a yicking noise. He noticed someone ducked behind a big street sign. He knew who it was, but he decided to test more of his theory. He walked towards the sign and stopped right in front of it. Hinata, why are you hiding? He asked. Naruto-kun. I was startled. He smiled and decided to have some fun. Startled? Oh my. Well, you do look good enough to eat. I wonder if you taste like miso ramen. Naruto-kun. She cried out as her blush spread all over her body. Just kidding, but you do look very cute when you blush. As soon as he said that, she blushed a lot and then fainted. What just happened? He said in confusion. 10 minutes later. So you're awake now, thank God. He carried her all the way back to the Hyuga Manor before letting her down on her feet. Sorry, I got worried, so I decided to bring you home. Are you feeling any better? Yes, Naruto-kun, and thank you. You take care, Hinata-chan, I have to run now. And don't keep fainting as it's not good on you, take care," he said as he ran off. Hinata smiled while blushing and was vowing to fix her fainting habit. She turned to head through the gate of clan compound, only to be greeted by her father. "Hinata, next time to invite him over," he said as he walked off. Hinata stood there struggling with what to do. Her sensei's words still ringing in her head. What should I do? Later that night, a drunken man staggered along the street in a drunken state. This middle-aged man is a survivor of the Kyuubi attack, however the same could not be said for his wife and son. They were shinobi of the leaf. They went into battle against the demon only to lose their lives. And like every Kyuubi victim, he placed the blame on Naruto. Tonight was payback and the man vowed that blood would be spilled. Naruto walked up to the drunken man. The man, even though drunk, knew who the boy was. "What you want, you demon child?" He pulled out a pocket knife ready to cut the blonde. Naruto smiled, scaring the man out. "Why are you smiling, monster?" "Kyogen," Naruto shouted. The madness eyes activated, and as soon as the man looked into Naruto's golden eyes he felt an uneasy feeling. He noticed his surroundings become dark and nothingness. To the man this was his view of hell. "What have you done, demon?" he cried out in shock and horror. "Welcome to your hell. Remember when I was 6 you tied and beat me with a metal bat? Oh, you do remember, allow me to pay you back. You monster," he yelled as he charged at him, knife ready to stab. Kyogen shearing claw. He countered the knife by grabbing the man's arm, and with his other arm he slashed with his nails across the man's face. The man screamed in a high pitch, reliving his greatest fear, his family being tore apart piece by piece. What he saw was the Kyuubi killing them and with their last breath their plea for him to save them. Madness shearing claw. My hand is wrapped up in chakra and the nails extend. When a person is slashed, the chakra seeps into the wound and heads through the nervous system, then through the brain, and forces whoever has been cut to see that which they fear most until the chakra has worn off. Naruto said in a dark, ominous voice. He grabbed the man's knife and aimed for the man's left eye. "Where you're going you'll never see your loved ones again, but don't worry, you're the first of many to come. Burn in hell." He rammed the knife through the man's eye, instantly killing him as his blood splattered across Naruto's face. He licked the blood with his fingers. "You taste like a pig." He did the fire sign seal and performed the fire jutsu. The man's limp body burned rapidly, the air smell of burned flesh. He walked away leaving the burned body. Naruto cut off his eye's power only to hear clapping. He looked towards the direction of the clapping and to his shock he saw an Anbu ninja. Naruto feared the worst and he believed he was done. Then he noticed something wrong about this Anbu, as his mask is different. Naruto knew he wasn't the old man's Anbu. "Who are you?" "Who I am is no important, but if you must, you know I'm a member of NE, otherwise known as the Foundation." "NE? Foundation? My master been watching you for a while now. Such interesting eyes you have. My master is right about you." "Who is your master?" he said with a serious face, not in a mood for games. He would find out who this man's master was and discover whether he was a threat or maybe a follower for him to use. "Who is your master?" he said with a serious face, not in a mood for games. He will find out who this man's master is, whether he's a threat or maybe a follower for him to use. "Now, it's no concern for you to know my master now, as you will hear from him when the time is right. He sent me to deliver a message." The strange Anbu stated. "What is it?" "Uzumaki Naruto, I have witnessed a power never seen before. With your eyes, Konoha can once again be known as a great nation. He wishes for you to join our organization. I see well it's a tempting offer, but I can't trust it. For all I know it could be a plot to hurt me. Sorry, try to see it my point of view and you understand why I'm being cautious. Maybe one day I'll join, but for now the timing is bad." He began to walk away leaving the NE Anbu. "I must report this to Lord Danzo." He shunshin away after Naruto left his sight. As with Naruto, he had many things going through his mind. One of those things was the leader of the NE. "It seems someone in this NE organization wants to use me for my Kyogen. Perhaps it was my own fault for revealing my power too much, but it was the only way for me to learn more about my eyes. It can't be helped. For now I'll take a break on using my eyes, as they are drawing attention from those who I don't know about. Until I learn more about this mysterious leader, I'll keep to the shadows. Right now I have bigger fish to fry. Time to go to bed and deal with that silver hair Cyclops survival test," he thought. In an unknown location. "Report. My lord, your plan did not go well. What did you say? Lord Danzo Uzumaki. Naruto is skeptical about joining us for he thinks it is a trap set up by his attackers. Lord Danzo? For now keep a close eye on him. If anyone tries to attack him then deal with them. If he's killed anyone else could cover it up. The boy will come to me but for now we wait. Sarutobi is a fool, he should have let me take the boy. Under my wings Konoha would have been on top. You're dismissed, go and carry out your orders. Yes my lord. The next day, morning time had come, shops were barely open, and two people wearing green jumpsuits were running in a lap shouting youth. While at training ground 7, 3 people have shown up with their book bags. Good morning Sasuke-kun, you ready for the test? Sakura asked. HMPH. He replied back to the pink-haired girl. Naruto took that moment to go lay near a tree. Look alive people, I say you should eat and relax. I'm guessing he'll be late today. But he said for us to not to eat. Sakura protested. Sakura do not believe that crap. I already figured him and his test out. Naruto responded with a snort. As if Dobi, I'm supposed to believe you've gotten smarter overnight, and figure things out. Get real loser. Yeah Sasuke-kun is right. You're not smart enough to figure things out. Leave it to Sasuke-kun to handle things. She said trying to earn some points with her crush. Fine be like that but do not complain when I am right. They put us in a team to work together. What a joke, it'll never happen the way people will want it. He closed his eyes and tried to control his rage that was building up because of them. 3 hours later. Yo, sorry I'm late but I got lost on the road of life. You liar, yelled Sakura. Now, so is everyone ready for the test? He said pulling out an alarm clock. Sensei, what is that clock for? Sakura asked. This clock here will let me know when time is up. You all are being timed. Your mission is to get these. He pulled out 3 bells after setting up the time. Only one of you will be dropped from the program. A ninja must see through all kinds of deception. Use whatever means and come after me with the intent to kill. They all got ready placing their book bags near the memorial stone. Good now scatter. They all went into hiding except one. You don't like to follow orders do you? Said Kakashi. Oh no I'm hard-headed. Naruto said as he charged at Kakashi with a kunai in each hand. Kakashi moved his hand to his back, reaching for his belt bag. Then he pulled out a book? This got Naruto to stop charging at him. Kakashi noticed his confusion. What's the meaning of this? Said Naruto with a confused look on his face. Oh don't mind me, I want to know what happens in the chapter. Besides you're not going to do much against me. He said, egging him on to continue the attack while beginning to read his book. His trick worked as Naruto went to go strike him with the kunai repeatedly and each time Kakashi dodged and evaded him with little trouble. What pissed Naruto off more was that he did it without even looking at him, eyes still glued to his book. Don't underestimate me. He dived after Kakashi only to go past him, so he thought. Sasuke and Sakura hiding spot. He's strong. I need an opening to attack, Sasuke thought. Naruto look out, he's behind you. Screamed Sakura. Back with Naruto. He heard her in a split second, but it was all for nothing when he felt 2 fingers go up his ass and hear Kakashi shout, Leaf Village secret art. 1,000 years of death. Naruto screamed and went flying up in the air and toward a lake. Lesson 1 Taijutsu. Kakashi said as he noticed Naruto explode into a cloud of smoke. His visible eyes widened. He heard from the report that Naruto knew how to do the shadow clone jutsu. At first he didn't believe the report, but now it was just shocking that someone so young could do that jutsu. His thoughts went to scanning the area for Naruto. With Sasuke, now's my chance, I must get him now while he distracted. He threw 6 ninja stars. The target was unmarked. The weapons hit Kakashi towards the neck and pinned him to a nearby tree. Problem was he didn't hit Kakashi at all but a log. Substitute jutsu? Shit, I gave away my position. He made a dash for the trees, trying to get away. Sakura kept watching and she was shocked that Naruto wasn't real but a clone and then Kakashi using the substituting jutsu. She was at a loss for words until she heard her name from behind. She turned and was met with Kakashi and then everything started to spin. When she came to, she found herself in the clearing only to see a horrifying sight. Her crush badly bleeding to death and pleading for help. Like a child, she screamed. Maybe that was a little too much but she's supposed to have the highest grade when it came to genjutsu. He dodged in time while a rain of kunai came down upon him, and then he noticed the exploding tags attached to them. They went off as he quickly got out of there, almost getting caught. He's more talented than we all thought, don't you think, Sasuke? Kakashi said, dusting himself off. He's just lucky, I'm not like Naruto or Sakura. I am elite. Say that when you get a bell. Sasuke charged at Kakashi, aiming a punch towards his face, only for Kakashi to grab his hand. Sasuke smirked and turned in the air and brought his right leg towards Kakashi's right shoulder. Kakashi grabbed his leg with his free hand. Sasuke, seeing he wasn't going anywhere, pushed himself off and jumped a few feet back. He began to go through a series of hand signs and Kakashi grew worried, for he knew those signs. That's a fire jutsu. But a genin can't do that, for it takes too much charka. He thought in disbelief. Sasuke puffed up like a blowfish, barely shouting his attack. Fire-style fireball jutsu. The wave of fire hit Kakashi dead on. Sasuke watched the flame die out, but he noticed that there wasn't a burned body. He assumed Kakashi's body got turned to ashes. However, before he could wonder any more, a hand came out from the ground underneath Sasuke. The hand grabbed Sasuke's left ankle and pulled him underneath the ground until only his head was still sticking out. Kakashi was standing above him. Rule number 3 ninjutsu, he said calmly. Sasuke growled at him, trying to struggle but to no avail. Kakashi turned around and walked away. Stay tight, I must pay a visit to your blonde teammate. Get back here. Kakashi shunshined, leaving Sasuke alone. A few seconds later, Sakura showed up but stopped when she saw Sasuke's head sticking out of the ground looking right at her. Her brain shut down and she fainted. And that's supposed to be my teammate? Sasuke asked with a twitch above his eye. With Kakashi. Come on Naruto, why hide? Kakashi shouted out, trying to lure him out into the open. Naruto landed 10 feet in front of him. Then another Naruto landed to Kakashi's right side. Finally 2 more Narutos appeared. One from behind Kakashi and the other at the left of the Jonin. Kakashi, no longer finding this fun, sighed. You know, a shinobi who keeps using the same move over and over again will become predictable. This tactic will come right back at you, and bite you on butt. If I were you, now would be a good time to try something else to do. You underestimate me. Boys, let's show him why we're known as the #1 Maverick Ninja. Yes boss. This will not work. Expecting Naruto to charge him, Kakashi was confused when he noticed the Narutos performing a jutsu. Wind-style pressure VOTREX jutsu. They opened their mouths wide and shot a wind ball at Kakashi. Seeing the attack coming in time, he jumped above a tree branch. A low-rank wind jutsu, good but not good enough. The attacks hit each other, but instead of canceling each other's out, the wind balls formed together, creating a small but strong tornado. The clone Narutos went into a stance and started to move their hands in the direction where Kakashi was. What shocked Kakashi was the fact that the tornado was moving towards him. He understands it now. Their attack knowing he moved, but what they wanted to created this tornado. Kakashi made no attempt to escape and the tornado struck him, tearing him to shreds, but instead of blood all there was a puff of cloud. The Narutos realized he was a clone, but before they could have reacted, kunai sailed through the air and hit each one of them, making them explode into smoke. With the real Naruto. Shit, he knows the shadow clone jutsu? I thought he was some lazy jonin. My god, he's strong, I really can't do this alone. Ah, so here you are. I must say you are different than what the report states about you. Here I thought you're the class clown. One thing you overlooked just now. Kakashi said as he appeared. What's that, sensei? The real me is behind you. Kakashi said with an eye smile. Naruto's eyes widened when he noticed the Kakashi he was talking to was nothing but a shadow clone who proof away. He turned around only to get caught in a sleeping jutsu. Damn you, zzz. The alarm clock rang and Kakashi shook his head in disappointment. He picked up Naruto and walked away. FIFTHEEN minutes later. Naruto slowly opened his eyes, trying to move but finding that he couldn't. Then he opened his eyes up more and realized he was tied up to a target practice pole. If this is somebody's idea of a joke, they are messing with the wrong blonde to play games with. Shish, said Sakura. Well, time is up for you 3. You don't have to worry about the test anymore. So we passed, sensei? Asked Sakura. Kakashi visibly smiled in a U-shape, but that smile quickly vanished, and in its place is a hard, stern look. Passed, you say? No, all 3 of you are dropped from the program for good. Sakura had a look of horror on her face. Sasuke himself didn't look pleased. Naruto is the only one not fazed or upset. Did you ever figure out why you're in a three-man team? Kakashi asked. Sasuke and Sakura looked confused, trying to figure out what he meant. That's easy, we're supposed to work as a team, said Naruto. You are right, Kakashi stated. What, he's right? Yelled Sakura. No, I refuse to believe the Dobi is right. Sasuke growled. That's the problem we're having. Sasuke, you feel you're above everyone. Sakura, you saw Naruto battling me and what did you do? Nothing at all, not even bothering to lift a finger. Sakura put her head down knowing it was true. Naruto, if you figured it out, why didn't you warn Sasuke and Sakura? Oh, I did, but as you can see from their outbursts, they didn't believe me, so I went with plan B, which is to work with my shadow clones against you, but it wasn't enough. And yet you didn't get one bell when you could have. What's worse is that even you didn't bother to help your teammate when you knew the true agenda of this test. Maybe if you all came at me all at once, you would have had a bigger chance at getting the bells. Why should I? I knew the moment that they rejected my plan that they would be of no help. They got what they deserved. I want you to look at this stone, Kakashi said. He walked up to the memorial stone, placing his hand over the name. What's that? Asked Sakura. This is where real heroes are. How did they become heroes? Asked Sasuke. They were KIA. KIA? Muttered Naruto. Kakashi heard Naruto and decided to reply to what he said. They were killed in action. Here's where all my friends and family are remembered. Following orders to the core is the sign of a shinobi. However, a good friend once told me that those who abandon their mission is trash, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than trash. What a fucking joke this guy is he for real? Our sensei lives too much in the past. Hey, they gave us an unstable sensei who lets his messed up past run his life. They called Team 7 team nutcases, which are fine by me. This guy won't fail us. No, he's too pitiful to do that. Let's see how this will play out. I'm going to give you three a chance, except you do not feed Naruto or you pay. He said as he swiftly left. Sakura and Sasuke pulled out their lunch bento box. They began to eat until Naruto coughing louder getting their attention. Quick, while he gone, listen to me this time. He is testing us again and is probably nearby watching us. The trick is he wants us to disobey his orders and help each other out. So will one of you please feed me? By the end of this day I'm using mouthwash, the things I do to get my way. Well, hopefully they will listen. Oh please Naruto, how will you know? Sasuke-kun, and I don't need to get in trouble with you, right Sasuke-kun? Sakura, shut up and feed him. He is right, but Sasuke, do what the Dobi said, he was right the first time. Besides, we're supposed to be a team, and as a team we're supposed to help each other out. Okay Sasuke-kun, Naruto, open your mouth please. She said, still a little unsure. Naruto opened his mouth, allowing Sakura to feed him with her lunch. Neither one of them were enjoying this. Naruto felt like he was in hell, and the devil known also as Sasuke's number fangirl Haruno Sakura was feeding him. Deep down Naruto was fuming. In his head he was cursing Namikaze Minato's name over and over, praying that the man was in hell getting butt tagged by a bunch of other demons. Then the sky grew dark and Kakashi appeared in front of them in a flash of lighting. Judging from his body language he was pissed. Sakura grew scared behind this display of power. You, shouted Kakashi. We're a team, so if you're going to fail us then you might as well fail us as a team, as we won't turn against each other. Said Sasuke. That's right, it's like you said. Those who abandon their comrades are worse than trash, so guess what, we ain't abandoning no one. You emo Avenger. Trying to upstage people so you make yourself look like a hero. Don't worry, I'll bring your emo ass down. True heroes can't be broken, and I will break you when the time is right. They are right, she said nervously. Well then you passed. He eyed Smile. WHAAAATTT. Yelled Sakura. I said you passed. You mainly disregarded my orders to help your comrade out, and for that alone you guys passed. So starting to tomorrow Team 7 will get their first mission. That's just peachy, but will someone cut me loose first? Naruto said, growing impatient. 1 hour later, Naruto headed into his favorite ramen stand. Taking a seat, he did not realize that today the stand had more customers. Hey Tucci, where's big sis at? Oh, she's on some errand I got her doing. She'll be back later on. So the usual today? Nah, not this time, instead I'm in the mood for spicy chicken noodles. That's a new one, well coming right up. The chef went right to work on the order. Hey, it seems the loser is going camping, right guys? said Kiba, who sat far away from him. Akamaru barked in agreement to his master's comment. Kiba, you shouldn't say things like that, he did no harm to you, said Shino. Shino's right, Kiba. Naruto meant no harm to you. What's wrong with you too? He's just the dead last who won't amount to anything in life. What is your problem with Naruto? Shino said in a tone that was slightly exacerbated. It's okay Shino, thanks for trying to stick up for me, he's just barking, that's all. I do want to know, do you and Hinata-chan play chess or read a couple of books? I read books. I play chess, but why do you ask? Because you two have a lot of patience. Dealing with dog shit and his wet doggy must be hard. What did you say? Kiba yelled. My god, are you related to Sakura? Cuz both of you loving bringing your voice volume up. Naruto said. Grr. Kiba growled along with Akamaru. Hey, no fighting in my shop, he said as he set Naruto's plate of ramen down. Kiba grew angry at Naruto's smile. It was a smile as if Naruto knew that Kiba was outnumbered. Kiba took the hint. Come on Akamaru, let's go home. He stormed out the stand, not even bothering to pay for his meal. It seems Kiba in his childish state forgot to pay for his meal, said Shino. Sai, I pay for his meal, said Hinata. No, I can't allow that. Tucci, place Kiba's bill on my tab. But Naruto-kun. Sorry Hinata-chan, but I can't allow a lady such as yourself pay for a guy. It should be the other way around. Besides, you shouldn't pay for someone who is very ungrateful. You know what, after ramen you want to hang out with me. Hinata began to blush more, fighting not to faint. She'd be delighted Naruto. Shino answered for her. Shino, said Hinata, her face become redder. Awesome, then it's a date then. Hinata heard the word date and the next thing she knew, she fainted. However, this time Naruto caught her. She's really got to work on her fainting habit. Now that I think about it, she will do well as my first of many followers, but can I trust her? Guess I'll find out tonight when I bring her back to my place and see if she's a spy trying to attack me. If so, then she'll suffer the same fate like those idiot civilians. Naruto thought. You know she really admires you, said Shino. I finally noticed that now, man, I'm such an idiot. I've been too busy chasing after something pink that I barely noticed what was right in front of me, he said while setting back on the stool, placing her head down on the table gently so she can rest a little. Don't beat yourself up, it happens to us all. As long as you realize your mistake and try to fix it, that's all that matters. Shino, you're right. It's just I've always been looked down on by so many others. I'm not used to someone admiring me. Is that a good thing? It is if you let it. You're not the only one who's been looked down upon. My family is put down also. People are afraid of us because we control bugs that feed on chakra. It's my family tradition that's been passed down for many generations, and we allow our bugs to live inside of our bodies to feed on our chakra. This helps us create a bond with our bugs. So your body is a hive? Asked Naruto. Yes, and you and your clan can understand and order your bugs, that is cool, he said, telling the truth. I don't see why people treat you like diseased people. That type of talent is useful. Is that a bloodline ability? No, it's just a family skill, just like the Nara's, Akamichi's, and Yamanaka's abilities. Well, it's a pretty good skill. I can imagine you guys fighting an enemy. Just drain them of their chakra and they're done. Thank you, you're the first to ever congratulate my family besides the Hokage. Well, I see no harm in it, besides I like to think we can be good friends. We outcasts need to stick together. There is some truth to your words. I've been meaning to ask, but why are you hated by the older generation and some of our peers? It's kind of personal, but don't worry, when I'm ready I'll tell you. Oh darn, I better eat this before it gets any colder. You kept chatting too much, so don't complain. Tucci joked on him. Yeah, Shino, how about this, if you keep an eye out for Hinata, because knowing Kiba, he's trying to challenging me and I don't want Hinata getting caught in this. I understand Kiba really has to fix his behavior. He's just acting like a dog, and he believes he needs to be pack leader and he feels threatened by me, that's all. Indeed, Shino replied back. If things go well, I can probably get Shino and some of his clan members on my side when I get close to my goals. Later at Naruto apartment, I cooked up something for us to eat because that ramen barely did the trick. Hope you're in the mood for spaghetti and meatballs with small mushroom. No, you don't have to do this for me. I want to, beside I want to spend time with you, and tell you something that may be shocking. What do you mean, Naruto-kun? Sai, well, I wanted to tell you way after dinner, but I might as well tell you. Naruto-kun? 12 years ago the Kyuubi no Kitsune attacked our village. My evil father, and yes, I called him the fourth Hokage, evil because he didn't beat the fox. No mere human can beat a powerful demon on the stages of a god. Which is like a flea trying to kill a wolf. Back to what I was saying, my father seals it away inside a newborn baby. For a baby's chakra coils can adapt to foreign chakra for their barely developed. Well, that's what Iruka-sensei told me. Well, he knew by sealing the demon in me that I would have a shitty life, but the village was more important than his own flesh and blood. Many wanted the child dead, including his own mother, for she viewed her child as the demon. The boy grew up never knowing why he was getting beat, spit on, stabbed, and all other types of abuse until he was 12 when found a letter from his own father telling him the truth. Then the Council of the Leaf learned about the boy's father and is trying to kiss his ass, and trying to force him into Clan Restoration Act, which the boy may have no choice in the matter if he wants to become Hokage and change this land for the better. What I'm trying to say is that I am a monster and the village scapegoat, so I understand if you want to run far away from me. Look at her. The fear on her face proved my point. I might as well use the Kyogen and make it quick and make sure I have a cover story. His thoughts came to an end when she ran into his chest and hugged him, sobbing into his chest. This isn't what he suspected to happen. Naruto was at a loss for words as to why was she feeling sorry for him. Why he kept asking himself over and over. Naruto-kun, you're not a monster, you're a victim and my hero. Your burden is great, let me shoulder it for you. She cried heavier. Why? This can't be happening. Is it possible that she really loves me? Naruto-kun, I think my father is trying to hurt you, she said, looking in his eyes, noticing the confusion in his eyes. In that moment her courage grew. She leaned closer and kissed him on the lips to show him she loved him and would do anything for him. Naruto pushed her off, his eyes showing confusion and hate. It's a lie, you don't love me like that. Your father put you up to it, didn't he? Didn't he? Naruto-kun, no, she tried reasoning with him. Get out. But Naruto-kun, hear me out. I said get out. His voice sounding more dark and heavy like a beast. Hinata grew scared of the voice. She ran out his apartment crying. Soon she left. Naruto grabbed his head and began to scream in pain. Get out of my head. He collapsed to the floor of his living room unconscious. She stood in her room, her knees up to her chest, sitting up on her bed as her mind drifted off to last night. She refused to come out her room unless it was for daily routines. Her father tried talking with her and so had her younger sister, Hanabi, but she wasn't in the mood. Her crush Naruto had labeled her as one of his enemies. He accused her of trickery. No, what made it worse was him stating that her father put her up to it to lead him in a trap. She realized he was under pressure from the council and also her own father. Now she saw what her sensei was trying to tell her. Her own father wanted her to get closer to Naruto for who he was, and that is the yellow flashes, son. She felt betrayed. She thought her father finally noticed her, but instead he wanted her to be used as a bargaining tool for Naruto. Why? So that the Hyugases could be closer to the Namakazes? If that was the case, they were in for a shocker, as Naruto hated his family. They needed to understand one thing. Naruto didn't want anything to do with his family or family's background. She now knew what she had to do. She must do whatever she could to help ease his burden. She didn't care what he had sealed inside of him, for she sees him as him and nothing else. Her crush for him was growing and she was coming to terms that she loved him. That's what she wanted to show him those many nights ago, but it didn't work in her favor. No matter what, she came to a conclusion. She would still be there for him and show him she really loved him, and would do anything for him. She got up and walked over towards her mirror on her dresser. She stared at the round-shaped mirror with golden lining on each sides going down. Look at me, I'm a mess. Well, let me go fix myself up, and get ready to meet my teammates and sensei. She thought. She walked out of her room and headed for the bathroom, determined to take a bath and wash away her thoughts. An hour later, after her nice warm bubble bath, Hinata went on her way to Kurenai's home. While still in thought, she struggled with telling her sensei why her father was nice all of a sudden. Her thoughts came to an end when she saw Shino and Kiba with Akamaru on his head walking the same path she was on. Kiba noticed her. Hinata, you look down, what wrong? It's nothing, she said as she cast her eyes ahead, avoiding his glare. Kiba didn't take this well and figured something bugging her. He had to guess what it was about. Instead of holding his tongue, he decided to voice what he had to say. What do you see in that guy? He's just a loser, who cannot do any right. Nobody in this village cares for him. He should quit being a ninja. No, better yet, he should quit life. Kiba snarled in anger. Shino shook his head, knowing that the genin's brash comment wouldn't be received well. Smack. In her anger she slapped Kiba hard and walked away, not trying to be seen with him, for he was out of line. Kiba, who was shocked, started to rub the area where she slapped him. He couldn't believe it. Just because he said some harsh words about the dead last, he got slapped for it. He couldn't understand why she did what she did. Then Shino stood in front of him and looked at him with some form of pity. You just don't get it, and you know what, you never will. He said calmly. What's that supposed to mean? He said, puzzled by what Shino said. It means you shouldn't judge others by appearances only. Because of what you just did, you upset Hinata more. Her crush for Naruto isn't a silly crush like most girls our age. The bug user explained. Kiba stood silent, his head now facing the ground, like it was the most interesting thing he had ever seen. From now on, Kiba, leave her alone. Otherwise I will get involved. Do I make myself clear? Shino said in no joking manner. Crystal. He replied back with defeat in his voice, while his eyes kept to the ground. At Training Ground 8, after meeting Kurenai, Kurenai sensed something was wrong with her students. She could tell just by looking at Hinata. Her body language showed she didn't want to be anywhere near Kiba, and judging by how Shino was in between both of them proved her point. Kiba must have done something or said something to cause problems among his teammates. She pushed it to the back of her mind. Right now, training and maybe a mission was what mattered. If it got to be a problem, she would take care of it, or so she thought. Okay, Team 8, today we will cover water walking just like the tree climbing training we covered on the first day after you guys became my team. This form is an advanced training method to controlling chakra. Sensei, where are we going to train? Asked Hinata. A good question, Hinata. Training Ground 7 has the nearest lake. We will use their lake for today. Kurenai replied back. This isn't good. What if Naruto-kun is there? What if he's still mad at me? No, I promised myself I will show him he can count on me. It may take some time, but I'm willing to risk it. She thought. Few minutes later. Now guys, like I said, this method is the same method we used for the tree climbing. Except a user must gather chakra into their feet and constantly feed the appropriate amount into the water. The release of chakra must match the weight of the body and the amount necessary to float. It is more difficult to control chakra since water is not solid and constantly moving. This training is used to teach an individual how to create a specific amount of chakra into any part of the user's body. You have your orders, get to work. Kurenai ordered. Hi sensei. They replied together while walking over towards the lake. Shino took this moment to start first. He slowly gathered chakra into his feet, making sure it measured his weight. He walked across the lake, his feet above the water, using his chakra to keep him afloat as he stood at the center of the lake. His teammates carried looks of shock, amazement, and envy. It seems you already know how to do this, Shino. Kurenai assumed. Yes sensei. It's important for my clan to know how to control chakra and mold it. It's the only way we can control as many bugs as we can. Sensei, being that I know how to control my chakra, I ask with your permission if I may help my teammates. If my teammates need help, please allow me to help them. He responds back while walking back towards Kurenai. You have my permission. Hinata and Kiba, you just witnessed what Shino can do. If you need any helps, you can ask Shino or me for help. She said. Ha, like I would need it. Akamaru, stay here boy, this will be over before you can blink. He boasted once again, letting his dog down on the ground. He gathered chakra through his feet and arrogantly walked over onto the water. He didn't get far, for he quickly fell into the water. Kurenai pawned her face with her hand. Hinata was trying to cover her mouth from laughing, and Shino just stared with no emotion on his face. This will take a while. Kurenai thought to herself. Try again Kiba and pay attention this time. Gather chakra into your feet and constantly feed the appropriate amount into the water. The release of chakra must match the weight of your body and the amount necessary to float. Kiba growled and got out of the water and tried it again. He fell once again back in the water. He got angrier again and kept trying, falling into the water each time. Shino tried to finish what he wanted to say, but Kiba in his anger snapped at him. I don't need anyone's help. Just worry about yourself. Kiba, do not snap at your teammate. He's just trying to help you. Kurenai said as she noticed Hinata getting the hang of it. Hinata not bad, then again as female ninjas can easily gather and control chakra. She gave her compliment. After couple of hours of trying out the water walking training, each of them got the hang of it. Kiba finally got the hang of it after caving in and asking Shino for help. Kurenai was proud of her team, who finally starting to get the hang of things. In her mind she thought if they continued like this she would nominate them for the upcoming Chunin exam in a few months. She saw that they had enough time. She wanted to have them do one D-ranked mission for the day. She cleared her throat to get her genin's attention. Since we still have enough time, I figure we can do one D-ranked mission for today. Me and Akamaru won't mind as long it's not that mission chasing after that cat again. He growled remembering the bad encounter with the cat known as Taro. He has a point sensei. Even my bugs don't like the Fire Lord's wife's cat. Shino responded in agreement with Kiba. I thought he was cute. He seems so scared of her. Poor kitty, she said feeling sad. Do not worry, we're not taking that mission. We're going for a different approach today. From what I remember, I believe Kakashi's going to have his team do that mission today. I hope that evil cat ouch. He didn't finish that as Shino stepped on his foot. This in return caused Kiba to growl, and Akamaru to bark. What the hell Shino? He shouted. Perhaps you forgot what I said to you on not to judge others by appearance only. Let it go Kiba before you hit rock bottom. Shino said while looking him straight in the eyes. Kiba saw Hinata out the corner of his eyes. She did not look pleased by what he attempted to say. Hinata had a look of irritation on her face, and Kurenai had had enough. Okay, let me get this straight for you three. I respect others' personal lives and struggle not to intrude unless they want me to. But listen well, I will not have my team fall apart over some problem. Either learn to drop it or I will get involved. Do I make myself clear? She said with authority. Ha sensei, Hinata responded. However, Shino or Kiba didn't respond, both of them still sizing each other's up with their eyes. Kurenai raised her voice once again. Do I make myself clear, boys? Yes, sensei, Shino finally responded. Yes, sensei, Kiba responded, and Akamaru barked as a response. Good, now let's go, we've already wasted enough time. Kurenai said calmly now. At Ichiraku noodle shop. At least you have a lazy sensei, ours is batshit crazy. Said a girl with green emerald hair. Who's your sensei? Asked Ayame. Mitarashi Anko. Replied a black hair boy. My god, and you sure you kids aren't under any ordeal? Said Tucci. Dad, you've heard of her? Asked Ayame. Oh yeah, Mitarashi Anko is one woman who you don't want to cross. She was once Orochimaru's student, but due to his treachery she became an outcast by the civilians and shinobi. Naruto, she is just like you. She knows what it's like to suffer, but instead of crying about it she powers through. Dad, I don't see what the problem with her is. Said Ayame. Hold on, don't interrupt me, I'm getting to it. Now, as I was saying, over the years she became tough. She killed without mercy, put a lot of men in the hospital making them women in the progress, and she's quick to go off on somebody who has bad-mouthed her. Also she loves blood, said Tucci. Oh, Ayame responded. Well, I need to meet her. Said Naruto. It's your funeral buddy. Reply a boy with dark messy brown hair. Renji, that's not nice. Give sensei a chance. Replied the same black hair boy. Kira, it's true, he wouldn't last 5 seconds with her. Said Renji. Now how would you know that? I can be very clever at times. Naruto responded. That's true, Naruto did prank a lot of people and always got away with it. Sachi said, backing Naruto up. I admit, Naruto, you do have a way of getting your way when it comes to pranking, even if Iruka-sensei caught you sometimes. However, Anko-sensei isn't anything like Iruka. She's dangerous and vulgar. Heck, from what she told us the council didn't even want her to become a sensei, let alone a jonin. Said Renji. Then she's the same as me. I have no love for the council. They're nothing but a pack of vultures picking at the flesh. They know they cannot survive on their own without leeching off of someone. He said with a serious tone. Whoa, was the only response Kira gave. No way, I know you never said that to their faces. Sachi said, thinking he wasn't serious. Tell you what, if I show you proof of me saying that to the council one day, then you must introduce me to your sensei. Naruto said. Why do you want to meet her so much? Sachi asked while her two teammates wondered the same thing. I wish to ask her something very important that deals with people putting other people down. He lied. Team 9 looked at each other before nodding. Renji decided to be the spokesman. Okay, it's a deal, but only if you get the proof first. Until then it's a no-go. Then we have a deal, ladies and gentlemen, shall we shake? Naruto, why are you wasting everyone's time? We have a mission and we're going to be late because of you. Yelled Sakura with a twitch on her forehead. She clearly didn't want to inform him of this, but Kakashi made her do it. She stormed out of the stand heading towards the Hokage's tower. I envy you guys, for you have a perfect team and a sensei who's willing to help you regardless if she's a nut. My team is shit. Sasuke will mostly be killed due to him thinking he's better than everyone. Sakura will most likely be raped by some sleazy guy, and Sensei will do nothing but read his book because he wants to escape his painful past. Naruto said as he paid for his meal. Keep the change, Tucci-san, and Team 9, it was nice speaking to you. He walked off, leaving them behind in their own thoughts. With Team 8. Okay, Team 8, not the type of mission I wanted you to do, but it still falls under what you're training for. The mission is simple. Find Lord Hokage's grandson and bring him back to the academy. Sensei, you're not going to help us this time? Hinata asked. Not this time, instead I'll be watching from the shadows. My job is to see if you guys are progressing. If so, then I know I must bump up your training. Kurenai explained. Now get to work. You don't have all day. Failure to get the Hokage's grandson before the academy has dismissed their students will result in mission failure. She said as she signaled with her hand, and instantly Hinata activated her Byakugan. Shino summoned his bugs from his body and Kiba and Akamaru began sniffing the ground together. Here, I want you guys to hold on to these, Shino said, handing them each earpiece headphone. Why do we need these? Kiba asked. It's to help us keep in contact with each other. Our target is Sarutobi Konohamaru, grandson of the Hokage, and is also known to hang around Naruto. In short, he's also a prankster, so we shouldn't underestimate him. Shino explained while putting on his earpiece. So he associates with Naruto? Kiba said while his dog Akamaru growled. I wouldn't think of doing something stupid if I were you. He is the Hokage's grandson, said Shino. Yeah, I get it. Kurenai-sensei already left? He said. So has Hinata. Shino pointed out. With Hinata, with her Byakugan activated, she searched through the area for traces of Konohamaru. One thing she knew about Konohamaru was that he modeled himself after Naruto's pranking habit. Naruto gave up his habit soon after he became a genin. Konohamaru felt someone should take over, and that someone should be him. The only difference between Naruto and Konohamaru was that Naruto pulled his pranks on his own, while Konohamaru had friends to help him out. One of his friends is a girl with orange pigtails who can be sassy at times, and the other is a glasses-wearing boy with a runny nose. Hinata knew she must find them quickly before someone got hurt. As soon as she came into the market's area, she spotted not just Konohamaru's chakra but his friends also. She saw a small faint signal in the air. Her fear was accurate in that he was not alone on his mission. She began to contact her teammates through the headpiece. With Shino, who was located on top of one of the building rooftops, extended his hand out. A fly landed on the palm of his hand. He brought his hand closer to his face as the fly began buzzing in its own language that only an Aburame could understand. I see, he replied back to the fly. Follow them and keep me informed. He ordered to the fly. The fly took off following Shino orders. As soon as the fly was out of sight, something fast ran past Shino. All he heard was a meow. Then he noticed Sasuke and Sakura were heading towards his direction. Shino moved aside so they wouldn't crash into him. Out of my way, creepy. Sasuke yelled while running past him. Sasuke-kun, he headed in that direction. It leads towards the forest, said Sakura, who was sweating from running and still trying to keep up. Naruto calmly walked past Shino. Shino, Naruto. He responds back. Naruto, instead of running after what his teammates were chasing, took the calm approach and just took his time by walking. Shino didn't have time to figure out what was going on as Hinata's voice spoke through his earpiece. Shino, I'm not sure if you know, but Konohamaru's trail leads deeper in the markets district, and he's not alone. He has his friends running with him as well as a mob of people who I assume are his prank victims. Yes, I'm aware of his position. I'll send one of my insects to keep tabs on him. However, I'm unaware of him being chased. Hinata, see if you can intercept as quickly as possible. I'll be there shortly. He ordered back. Hi, she responds back. No need to. I have the brats in sight. I'm with the mob. said Kiba through the headpiece. Kiba, do not let any harm come to him or his friends. Shino said. I won't, he responds back. With Kiba. Kiba, who was with the victims, had cornered Konohamaru and his friends in front of a flower shop. Kiba in his thoughts decided to take an easy approach with this situation. Okay people, calm down, he's just a kid, and not just any kid but the Hokage's grandson. Any harm that comes to him is harm against the Hokage. The people looked unsure. Some realized what Kiba was saying while others had white paint on their faces, and seemed too mad to be reasoned with. However, they held their place. Now honorable grandson, please stop this foolishness and go back to school. Don't call me that, and I will not go back. It's boring. Yeah, leave us alone, dog breath, said the orange hair girl in agreement with Konohamaru. You brats, I'm trying to be nice here, but it seems you want the hard way, Kiba growled. Konohamaru, it seems if we want to get away we're going to have to use that jutsu, said the glasses boy. You're right Udon, let's do it. Konohamaru and his friends placed their fingers in a single hand sign. In sync with each other, they shouted out loud together. Ninja art. Oiroke no jutsu. Where the three kids once stood, in their place were three beautiful young women with great bust sizes and wearing nothing at all. Kiba and the victims, who happened to be all male, stared at them barely blinking. Then the only sounds heard are bodies hitting the grounds. All of the men including Kiba lay on the ground with smiles on their faces, each of them down for the count with a small trace of blood leaking out their noses. Only Akamaru was awake, licking his master's face in attempt to wake him. The three women transformed back to normal. They high-fived each other and began to turn around only to be face to face with Hinata. With Hinata, that's as far you go, Hinata irritably said, who witnessed that jutsu. Moegi, Udon, it seems we have another one, let use that jutsu again, ordered Konohamaru. Yeah, said the now-known Moegi and Udon. Don't bother, it won't work on me, I'm not a pervert. She approaches them, her anger's rising. They were too scared of Hinata to even perform the jutsu again. They began to back away until they heard buzzing noises. Moegi is the first to scream when she turned around. The two boys turned around and saw why she screamed. A huge swarm of bugs was blocking their path, and then both the boys screamed much louder than Moegi when they saw a boy wearing a gray coat and sunglasses on his face. What freaked them out was that Shino was covered all over with the bugs. Give up now and go back to school, and I wouldn't think of using chakra. My bugs eat chakra, but in order to do that they will cover you from head to toe. Then they began to suck away at your skin, taking the chakra into them. It's a painful process, Shino warned. The two boys heard enough, and they fainted. Moegi was fuming over the boys' reaction. You cowards, don't faint on me, yelled Moegi. While Moegi was shaking both boys to wake them up, Kurenai appeared holding Kiba and Akamaru by her side. Good work team, this mission is completed. Let's take them back to the academy. I'll personally make sure their parents know what they've done and what jutsu they have been using. That type of jutsu is demeaning to women, and when I find out who taught them that, I'm going to give that person a piece of my mind. Anyway, let's go, she ordered. Hi sensei, said Hinata, while Shino summoned his bugs back into his body. Within the missions room, after returning the children back to academy and witnessing Iruka chew them out, Team 8 found themselves in the missions room getting their cut for the mission. Kurenai told them why she wanted them to take that mission. It was to help them with their scouting and tracking abilities. Team 8, you did well. There are no more missions for you today, so go home and get some rest. Tomorrow there will be more missions for you, including your first C-rank mission, since you did 30 D-rank missions so far. Sarutobi said. Thank you, Lord Hokage. Well team, you heard him, you three are dismissed, she ordered. Then a female Chunin rushed into the room. Forgive me, Lord Hokage, that mission you sent Team 7 on isn't a C-rank mission. What are you saying? The third asked her. The client Tazuna lied to us. Kakashi-san sent a messenger dog stating they had been attacked by two Chunin rogue nens known as the Demon Brothers. The female Chunin clarified. Oh no, Naruto-kun, Hinata thought in her head while her face showed panic. Kakashi-san is requesting assistance for he believes there will be more attacks coming. This is dreadful. Kurenai, I want you to gather a team of Jonin and track down Team 7 and assist them in any way possible, ordered the third. No. Everyone in the room turned towards the shout. Everybody's eyes were on Hinata, who had tears running down her cheeks. Please, send us to help them. Hinata? Thought Kurenai. She's worried and fears the worst for Naruto. I don't understand how Team 7 got a higher mission. I saw them hours ago. Thought Shino. Please Lord let that blonde bastard die, that's all I ask in life. Kiba thought and quietly prayed. Please I beg you, send us and only us. Said Hinata. Flashback start. Please I beg you, send us and only us. Said Hinata. I'm sorry but I cannot allow another team of newly fresh genin to be placed in Dang. You three are not ready to handle this type of mission until you gain more experience. The third said calmly. Then send only me, yelled Hinata, while tears poured out from her eyes. Hinata? Thought Kiba, I've never seen her like this. All those times within the Ninja Academy and not once have I seen her display these strong feelings. Naruto, you have no idea how much you actually mean to her. Thought Shino. I will not send you. The third replied back. But this isn't right. She desperately and practically screamed at him. Young lady, I will not have you raise your voice against me. I am the Hokage and you will show me the respect I deserve. Lord Hokage, I request permission for you to allow me to take my team to assist Team 7. Kurenai said calmly. The third eyes widened on this. Hinata looked at Kurenai and then back at the Hokage. The third looked at each of them. Kiba looked like he didn't care but at the same time curious. Shino seemed indifferent but he felt that he too was anxious to go, and lastly Hinata. Her eyes were pleading for him to send them, he could figure out why. He was well aware of her love for Naruto, however he felt that it may be in vain. Each report he got from Kakashi frightened him. Naruto was changing and maybe not for the best. To make matters worse, there was a meeting today regarding the boy and his status as an heir to the Namikaze clan. But this isn't what scared him. He believed that Naruto was striking out against the people of Konoha. He'd seen the reports from his Anbu officer and people have been murdered, and although it pointed to suicide he believed otherwise. Although it decreases, peoples have now gone missing. It was almost as if someone was covering up evidence of these murder. He hoped Naruto wasn't involved. Right now he had to make a decision, to let Team 8 go or not. Very well, I will allow it just this once. He said calmly. Hinata smiled behind this, she wiped her tears with her hands. Thank you Lord Hokage, she said stuttering. Team 8 get the necessary tools and equipment and meet me by the village entrance gates in 15 minutes. The clock is ticking, so get a move on people. Ordered Kurenai. Hi, Team 8 responded back as they left the room. Only Kurenai, a couple of people who work in the mission room, the Chunin woman, and the third were left. Kurenai, I hope you know what you're getting yourself into. You're not the type to agree to something like this. Said the third. Lord Hokage, it's true I would have never allowed this to happen, however regardless of my decision Hinata would have disobeyed orders and gone anyway. Answered Kurenai. It's her love for Naruto that's keeping her going, however it may be her undoing. The third said calmly. My lord, what do you mean? Said a puzzled Kurenai. Naruto has changed. Be careful, things will become hellish. Said a stern Hokage. Hi, she answered back. End flashback. At the forest where Team 7 fought Zabuza. So what did you learn, Kiba? Asked Kurenai. There was a battle here, Team 7 and some guy the first don't know. Said Kiba. Woof woof, barked Akamaru. What's he saying? Kurenai asked. Akamaru said a female ninja was here and took that unknown guy far away. Kiba answered back. This is true. My bugs detect faint chakra signals. My bugs will not be able to track those two ninjas. Said Shino. Neither will I, Kiba agree. Sensei, besides the environment being in a bad shape behind the battle, I'm picking up a strong signal of chakra leading further south. The signal is strong but fading away, I don't know whose chakra it is. Hinata said with her Byakugan activated. It must be Hitaki Kakashi, he was once in Anbu Corp. This is a tactic that uses one's own chakra to signal others nearby to come to their aid. Kakashi wants us to follow him and his team. Kurenai briefed them. Then this is not good. Kakashi-san must be injured if he's broadcasting his chakra, said Shino. I hope Naruto got injured. No, in fact I hope he lost his legs. Just what the hell does she see in him? He looks and smells as a fox. Don't worry Hinata, I show you who's the top dog when I save the day. Thought Kiba. Come on Kiba, we're moving out now, ordered Kurenai. Coming sensei. Kiba replied back. To Zuna's house. Kakashi began to open his eyes. the first person he saw was a beautiful mid-30-year-old woman. Then he noticed he wasn't outside in the woods, but instead he found himself in a room with a woman. Judging from her looks, he guessed she was a relative of Tazuna. The woman noticed he was awake. She walked up to his futon bed. "You're awake, for a moment you had your students worried. I'm Tsunami, daughter to Tazuna the bridge builder. You're in my home, right now I'll have your students speak with you but I want you to rest up, okay?" "Understood," Kakashi tiredly said back. Tsunami walked out the room. After a few minutes the door to the room opened up. Sasuke entered the room followed shortly by Sakura, and finally Naruto. "Sit down, I must talk with you three," ordered Kakashi. Sasuke and Sakura sat down in front of him. Only Naruto chose to stand near the door with his arms folded. Kakashi paid him no mind. He cleared his throat ready let them know his theory. "Tell me, what the real purpose of a hunter ninja is?" He questioned them. "To hunt rogue ninjas," answered Sakura. "Yes, but their jobs are also to annihilate their victims so no evidence will be leaked out. You see, when a person becomes a rogue, he takes with him, their village's secrets. If those secrets were to be leaked out, the village that rogue came from will be in danger. A hunter ninja's job is to find and wipe out the rogue ninja. Once that's done they obliterate the body so no traces are left behind. What I'm saying is that young boy we saw is not a hunter ninja. He did not destroy the body on the spot, instead he carried it away. My guess is that young boy is working for Zabuza and it was a ruse." "Zabuza is alive," Kakashi explained. "But sensei, you killed him, you even checked his pulse and confirmed he was dead," Sakura said in a panic. "That is true, but have you noticed that fake hunter's choice of weapons?" Kakashi replied back. Sasuke's eyes widened. He finally got what Kakashi was hinting at. He was about to answer, however Naruto beat him to it. Senbon are actually needles. While mainly used for acupuncture, some shinobi, properly trained, can use them as deadly weapons. One of the reasons it is not all that popular is that it requires extreme accuracy and speed. For these are only deadly if they hit a vital area of the body. This is a fact I know all too well. When I was younger I was attacked by shinobi using senbon needles, and trust me, those guys were fast. "Why were you attacked?" Sakura questioned him. Sasuke looked at Naruto also wanting to know. "Oh, that's simple, none of your business," he answered back, annoyed with her presence. "Hey, don't snap at me like that, I was just wondering," she shrieked. "And I said it again, it's none of your business," he yelled and spelled it out for her. Sakura was about ready to attack him. Kakashi didn't feel in the mood for this. Since they became a team, there had been problems between all three of them. Right now he decided to nip this in the bud, before it became a problem too big. "Enough, right now we need to be united and not divided," Kakashi exploded. "Pink-haired bitch," Naruto mutters to himself. Kakashi sighed and calmly took a breather. "During these weeks we will train so we can be prepared when we face Zabuza again." Just then Tazuna entered the room with his daughter Tsunami. Tsunami didn't look pleased, then her father decided to speak. "I must thank you once again for protecting me. With you three here I can safely build the bridge that will help our land," said Tazuna. "Zabuza is still alive," Kakashi flat out told him. "Excuse me?" Tazuna said, starting to get scared. "You heard me," Kakashi responded back. "Dear God, but how? You said he was dead." "Hell, you killed him, I saw it," said a nervous Tazuna. Tsunami grew scared, her father's life once again in danger. She stood quiet, not knowing what to say in these types of situations. "I did, but he was in a near-death state set up by that fake hunter. They are working together, and I'm willing to guess we have a week before they both appear again." "A week? Shit, that's not even time to prepare," said Tazuna. "Do not worry my team, and I will not allow you to come to any harm, we will be ready by then," said Kakashi. "Who are you people? What are doing in my family house?" shouted a young boy near the doorway. Everyone turned their attention to see a young boy with a hat over his brown hair. The boy didn't look pleased to see strangers in his home. He kept his distance near the doorway. "Inari, you're home. Look who came back home," Tsunami said, trying to lighten the mood for her son. "Inari, my grandson, I am home," Tazuna shouted. He was happy to see his grandson again. Inari saw his grandfather. He ran up to him, and gave him a hug. Tazuna returned the hug and started to pat him on the head in a calming manner. "These brave ninja protected me on my way back from Konoha. Their job is to protect me until the bridge is built. They will keep all the bad guys away from me. It makes no difference, they will all be killed by Gato. Inari. Tsunami scorns him. HMPH, Inari run out the room not wanting to be around these people he didn't know. What a little ungrateful brat. Naruto replied to no one. You all must forgive him, for he is a victim just like everyone within these lands. Since Gato took over this land, there hasn't been peace but only chaos. Don't mind my grandson, he is a good kid. Dad, I'll handle Inari. As for everyone else, your sensei needs his rest. Tsunami said her orders. You heard the lady. I will take some needed rest. I want all of you on standby. Are we expecting another attack? Sasuke asked. No, not at all. Earlier against Zabuza I purposely sent my chakra out. I was once a member of the Anbu Black Ops, and that's a tactic uses to signal other Anbu or Jonin ninja. Hopefully my messenger dog requests help from Lord Hokage, so expect a team of Jonin to arrive. Kakashi explained. When did you send a messenger? I didn't see you use any dog. Sakura asked Kakashi. Are you for real? He requested help after dealing with those 2 rogue nins who attacked us. Naruto said. Naruto, please not now. I need my rest, please try to get along with your teammates. Kakashi pleaded with him. Whatever. Naruto stormed out the room. Sasuke and Sakura followed right behind. WHATSYOUR problem Naruto Baka. Sakura shouted at him. Dobi, stop trying to act like a badass. Sasuke said. First off, I'm not acting, this is the real me, and my problem is simple. You're useless, Sakura. Naruto answered both of them. What? Sakura responded back. I didn't shudder. Since we became a so-called team, all you do is sit on the sideline and watch Sasuke and myself do all the fight. What did you do? I'll tell you, way to go Sasuke-kun, you are so strong Sasuke-kun. In fact, why the hell are you even a shinobi? She shudders. Don't answer that. You know what a sheltered brat like yourself should do? Instead of being a shinobi, you should become a cheerleader. It would be a good life for you, because you never have to worry about the dangerous life of being a shinobi, and you can cheer for your Sasuke-kun all day long. Naruto chuckled. Sakura broke down and began to cry. Sasuke glared at Naruto. Naruto smirked back at Sasuke, almost like he was daring the Uchiha to attack. You got problem, Mr. Avenger? Oh, I get it, you don't want the so-called Dobi upstaging you? Don't let your ego grow just because we got past those 2 rogue nins and Zabuza. Remember this, duck ass, you need my help against Zabuza. Without me you, Kakashi, and Sakura would have been fish food. So remember what I said, and keep this in mind. You ain't the shit and you'll never be the shit. Naruto walked away, leaving Sasuke to stare at his fleeing back. Sakura crying her eyes out while she sat in front of Kakashi room door, her knees up to her chest. With Naruto. Hey kid, where you going? Tazuna said, as he watched Naruto head for the door. I'm just going to scout the area. Don't worry, you have the others to keep you company. Also keep an eye out for Jonin ninja from the hidden leaf. They will help us out against those targeting you. Oh okay, well make sure to come back kid. It was because of you that we survived against Zabuza in the first place. Tazuna said to the blonde spiky hair boy. Naruto walked out the front door and closed it behind him. And just before he left, he heard Tsunami ask her father something. Father, is that boy really that strong for his age? He looks kind of young to be even considered a threat. Tsunami, when I first met that kid, I considered him to be weak because of his height. It was until he battled against Zabuza, and he freed his sensei. I come to realize I was a fool. He is strong and I personally believe he will become Hokage like he says he will. Tazuna explained to his daughter about Naruto. Naruto took that moment to leave. He began to walk towards the town. 12 minutes later, a knock was heard on the front door of house. Tsunami, who was closer to the living room, walked towards the door. She opened it halfway just to be sure on who it is. Tsunami noticed a woman with red eyes, and with her were 3 children and a white small dog. Kurenai noticed the woman before her confusion. She decided to introduce herself and her team. Good evening, I'm Yuhi Kurenai and this is Hyuga Hinata, Aburame Shino, and Inazuka Kiba. We are Team 8, and we were ordered by Lord Hokage to assist Team 7 on this mission. Kurenai explained to the woman before her. Yes, you're the team we heard of from Kakashi-san and Naruto-san. Tsunami said, assuming they were the team of Jonins. Naruto, so he's alright? Hinata asked Tsunami. Fine from what I can tell. Right now he's not here at the moment. Tsunami answered the girl back. Where did he go? Did he at least tell you anything? Shino now asked Tsunami. He told my father he was going to scout the area. Hold on. Dad, Tsunami shouted for her father. No need to shout, I'm awake. Tazuna said while walking down the stairs. Dad, did Naruto say he was going scouting? She asked her father, unsure if Naruto went scouting. Yes, that's what he told me, but that was 12 minutes ago. He probably went into town, but there's not much he can look for, our town is very poor. By the way, are you the Jonin that is assigned to assist Team 7? Tazuna asked Kurenai. Yes, I'm a Jonin, however my team consists of genin, but do not worry, my team can handle this. Kurenai said. Kurenai, you're not the type to be irresponsible. That is very unlike you to allow newly fresh genin to take an A-rank mission. Kakashi said while being helped down the stairs by his 2 students. You're one to talk about being irresponsible. You continued on with this mission knowing the dangers that waited. But enough about that, what are we up against? She asked Kakashi. Kakashi, who was helped by his 2 students, took a seat in the living room chair. Tsunami allowed Team 8 in. Kakashi sat in the living waiting for everyone to get comfortable. Before I answer that, have any of you run into Naruto out there? Kakashi asked Team 8. No, I'm afraid not, Kurenai replied back to Kakashi's question. Well, I guess it can't be helped. Now then, to answer your question. After the attack by the Demon Brothers, my team and I decided to continue the mission. Soon after we arrived in the land of the wave, the demon of the mist Momochi Zabuza attacked us. We learned that he was hired to kill Tazuna, but thanks to good teamwork we were able to defeat him. However, he got away with some help from a fake hunter ninja. Momochi Zabuza, former member of the 7 Swordsmen of the Mist. Kakashi, my god, this is an A-rank mission. Zabuza is too much to handle. She said as she lost her cool and yelled at him. That may be so, but what's done is done. Zabuza and his partner are preparing themselves for me and my team. But he won't be expecting you and your team, that will be the key in truly defeating him. Kakashi explained to both teams. I don't know, Kakashi, I feel that this will not work, but I don't see any other choices here. Kurenai said while she looked towards Hinata. Hinata looked very nervous. Kurenai assumed it was about the mission, but she was wrong. That's not what was bugging her at the moment. Hinata was thinking of Naruto, her thoughts really on what he would think of seeing her here. With Naruto. Naruto was walking back to Tazuna house, his thoughts on what he had seen in town. The town looked like something out of a bad movie, it was truly a slum. Hardly anything of worth was there. A lot of laid-off people, thieves, and homeless children. Naruto admitted one thing. He loved Gato's idea of making people suffer. He felt a little hurt he had to kill the man. He wished he got to learn under this man, as his ways ruling was what he had planned for Konoha. A smile crept across his face. He knew it would be the perfect revenge for all those who wronged him. He would kill those who were against him, imprison those that claimed to be his family, and finally he would rule over the weak. This was his way of thinking, call it survival of the fittest. Soon he got to the front door and heard voices. He assumed the Jonin arrived. Naruto felt uneasy for a moment as he thought heard Kiba's voice. Within Tazuna home, Naruto misses hearing the story of Kaiza. Inari went to his room. Akamaru is the best dog. He can also sense chakra with his nose, so he can judge an enemy's strength and warn me if they are particularly powerful. Kiba explained to everyone in the living room. Interesting, that's one amazing ninja dog. Tazuna said in response. Akamaru looked towards the front door and began to growl. Sasuke noticed Akamaru's behavior. He looked towards Kiba, which he noticed Kiba staring at the door also. Kiba, what his problem? Why are both of you staring at the door? Naruto is back, was all Kiba said. Hinata's face lightened up. The one she was looking forward to was back, but her fears of rejection was weighing a lot on her heart. Naruto opened the front door. He stared at everyone in the living room. His face was blank, not one hint of emotion on his face. He quietly moved past everyone, paying no mind to everyone looking at him. He stopped in front of his sensei. Naruto stared the man in his visible eye. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but you said you sent a messenger dog to request for a team of Jonin. Yes, that's the plan. Kakashi calmly replied back. Then please explain why there is one Jonin and another team of genin. One I'm cool with, another who's using me, and the last one that smells like a wet dog. Naruto stated. Look, now I know you upset, but we came up with a plan. Kakashi told him. What's this plan then? Naruto asked Kakashi. Team 8 will lay in wait, and when the time comes, they will ambush him and his masked friend. Kakashi explained. Naruto walked away and headed for the stairs. Kakashi noticed Naruto's attitude, and for once he was getting tired of it. Hold on, don't you walk away from me when I'm talking with you. What's wrong? You've been buggy since Team 7 was formed. You don't think I didn't notice the fake facade you place on yourself? Well, you're wrong, mister. Tomorrow you will act like an actual shinobi. We have training tomorrow, so be on your best behavior. Sasuke, Sakura, and Kiba smiled at Naruto getting chewed out, while Kurenai was trying to figure him out along with Shino and Hinata. Kakashi wasn't done yet, he kept talking. Tomorrow you will be doing the tree climbing training. It will teach you how to control your chakra. You Naruto need it the most. Naruto stopped walking, instead he turned towards the nearest wall. He gathered chakra through his feet. He placed his left foot on the wall along with his right foot. He began to walk up the wall and towards the room he would be sleeping in. Everyone sat there not saying a word as they were completely stunned. Sasuke grit his teeth along with Kiba. Sakura's mouth hung in shock along with Kakashi and Kurenai. Shino sat there staring and finally nodded as if approving what Naruto just did, and Hinata started to smile. One thing for sure, they didn't know Naruto like they thought they did. The next day in the woods near Tazuna, Team 8 and Team 7 were standing in front of a couple of big trees. Only Naruto leaned up against a nearby tree watching. He had his arms folded, an act that told everyone he didn't want to be there. Every few seconds Sasuke would look back towards Naruto, which led both the boys in a staring contest. Sasuke did not like the idea that someone was stronger than him. To him it showed he was nowhere near the strength he needed to be when he went after his own brother. Since last night he kept asking himself, where Naruto got his strength from. His thoughts came to an end when Kakashi started to explain to them how to perform the tree climbing training. This training includes gathering chakra into the feet and climbing up a tree. It teaches controlled chakra by bringing out the correct amount in the proper area. The amount of chakra needed to climb a tree is minimal, but it has to be perfect. The bottom of the foot is the hardest area to gather chakra. Once you keep trying you will build up your chakra storage, and by learning to control chakra, an individual can master any jutsu if they try. Kakashi explained to his team while giving them an example as he walked up the tree. He only used his clutches as his support. Kurenai didn't like how Kakashi took so long to teach his genin this type of training. Normally a jonin was supposed to teach them this the moment they became a team. This type of waiting would create problem. Which in their case it has, as it's probably why Naruto is cold to his team. She asks herself if Kakashi neglecting his students. She did not know how to answer that, for she didn't know much about Kakashi. She made a mental note to ask Asuma about him. Another thing that worried her was Naruto himself. She was aware he had the Kyuubi seal inside of him, and she was aware that he didn't live a charmed life. What frightened her was that he was getting strong too fast, and the fact that Kakashi wasn't aware of his growing strength. That calls also lead to many problems as it reminded her of Uchiha Itachi. He was the heir of the Uchiha clan who murdered his own family for power, leaving only his brother alive, so he could have someone to test his so-called power. Itachi at a very young age was gifted. He was a genius who graduated from the academy and later became an Anbu captain in the beginning of his teenage years. Naruto was showing small signs that he may be the next Itachi, and she hoped she was wrong about that. For now she broke out of her thoughts when she noticed Kakashi was staring at her with concern. She missed hearing Naruto stating he going to watch over Tazuna. Team 8, since you already know how to do this training, I want you to assist them any way you can. Sensei. Yes, Hinata. Can I please watch over Tazuna-san also? She asks her sensei. Kurenai thought about it for a while, and finally she made her decision. Yes, you may. Kurenai's sensei, I too wish to help to watch over Tazuna-san. Kiba also asked her. No. Kurenai replied back to him. But why? Kiba asked, not understanding her answer. I need you here to help Team 7 with their training. Shino cannot do this alone. Do not worry about Hinata, she can handle any threat that's willing to attack Tazuna, and plus Naruto is with Tazuna, she explained. Fine, I get it, Kiba said, but deep down he was pissed, and he feared for Hinata's well-being. At Konoha Council meeting, Today a brief meeting will be discussing the current position of Namikaze Naruto. Mitokado Homura stated, "All here who vote Namikaze Naruto to be placed under the Clan Restoration Act say aye," said Utatane Kaharu. Everyone said aye except for General and Shikaku. Then Homura asked if anyone against it say nah. Gen and Shikaku were the ones to voice nah. This shocked everyone including Choza and Inoichi. "Shikaku, I don't understand my friend, why are you against this?" Choza questioned him. "It's too troublesome to mention, however I believe that something bad will come from it. Already Naruto has changed and not for the best. I just have a bad feeling about this." He answered back, "I agree with Nara-san. Minato himself was not placed in the CRA," Gen pointed out. "That had only because he married Kushina, and look how that turned out. If only he took a Konoha woman as his wife, things wouldn't have turned out like this." Sume said in anger. "Sume, you must let it go. Minato didn't choose you. He saw you as his friend and nothing more," Shikaku said to her. "I know that already, but still look how Naruto was treated." She tried to point out. "I beg to differ," Gen replied back. Everyone stared at him, some trying to figure out what he meant. Hiyashi wanted to know the most on what Gen was hinting at. "What do you mean, Aburame-san?" Hiyashi asked him. "Sume, you said that if Minato would have taken a Konoha woman as his wife that Naruto would have been better off." "I say you're wrong," Gen stated. "What?" Everyone but Shikaku voiced it out. "It would have been the same result. Naruto would have been treated unjust by our people. Maybe even by his own mother for the loss of her husband. We're only human, that's why it's so easy for us to do things that are wrong. Also, a lot of people has been killed or went missing. I hate to say this, but I believe Naruto is responsible for those people's disappearances." "No, I refuse to believe that." Hiyashi yells that out. "When a person is pushed too far, they will do the unthinkable just to survive. That is what you call survival of the fittest." Gen calmly replied back. "Yes, and under survival of the fittest one must protect himself, herself from all threats including those who trying to help him. If Naruto is the killer, why now did he take the moment to strike?" Said a man with bandage wrapping covering his right eye. This man looks to be the same age as the Hokage himself. He walked in the room before council with his cane. The man was missing an arm but he still managed to move in. The council didn't look happy to see him except for the Hokage's advisors. The third grit his teeth, he had a history with this man. This man once ran for the position of the third Hokage, although he lost. He plotted on more than one occasion to become this village leader. Problem is the third barely have any proof to lock up or execute this man. "Danzo, why are you here?" The third questioned the man now known as Danzo. "Sarutobi, I'm here to tell you who the real murderer is." Danzo calmly replied back. "With Naruto and Hinata." Naruto and Hinata were guarding Tazuna. Tazuna and his crew were arguing over finishing the bridge, being the fact they were frightened of Gato and what he was capable of doing. Naruto looked at Hinata, and she looked back with a small blush. "I might as well say I'm sorry." Knowing Hinata, she's not the type to try a devilish act. Her father is an unknown factor though. He does look like the type to use people, and I did state that I need followers in my quest. And I cannot get any followers if I keep chasing some people away, but for now I will keep a close eye on her. Plus she also said she'd do anything for me, that is something I can use. I can stomach Hinata as she's better than other girls my age. That old dog bitch did say to put me in the Clan Restoration Act, I'll go along with it only so I can get Hinata's father out in the opening, and plus I can learn more about the council, their strength and their weakness. Thought Naruto. For a while they stood quiet, and then Naruto decided to break the silence. "Hinata-chan, I'm sorry for how I treated you last week." No, it okay, it was my fault. You were right, my father is trying something but I don't know what." Hinata explained to Naruto. "No offense Hinata, but your father is scary." Naruto lied. "I know he frightens me also." Hinata placed her head down. Naruto lifted her head up so she was looking at him. Her tears poured out her eyes. She was upset that her father was using her. All she wanted was his respect, but it was not meant to be. Naruto kissed her right on her forehead. Hinata blushed harder than she had ever done before. She couldn't believe Naruto kissed her. She was about to faint thinking it was a dream, but Naruto caught her attention. "Do not faint, you're too beautiful for that, and besides we need to guard Tazuna in case he's attacked." Naruto told her. "Oh okay," she shyly replied back. I was upset because your father and the council is forcing me go through the Clan Restoration Act. I have no way to stop that. But I won't love any of the others girls, and you know why? He asked her. Why? She shyly replies back. Because none of them will understand me like you do. Hinata, I need you. I request for you to be my first wife because I feel I'm losing myself. Plus it's the only way to catch what some people are trying to achieve against me. Will you always be by my side? Naruto asked her. He knew she'd do anything for him and he was planning to hear yes. Why yes, Naruto-kun. I will always be by your side. I told you before I'd do anything for you, for I love you for who you are and nothing else. Hinata rested her head on his shoulders. Naruto wrapped his arms around her waist. Naruto smiled knowing he'd won. His dreams were becoming much brighter. Thank you Hinata-chan, he replied back with a smile. A dark evil smile that Hinata unfortunately failed to catch. Later that night at Tazuna house. Don't you people get it? Gato is powerful. You'll all be killed by his men. There are no real heroes, so you all don't know what it likes to suffer. Inari shouted. Excuse me, are you stating that I don't know what suffering is? Naruto said as got in Inari's face. Naruto-kun please don't, Hinata said in an attempt to ward off the explosion she knew was about to come. No my princess, he needs to hear this, and so does everyone else. Listen little brat, you don't know what real suffering is. When I was born my father the fourth Hokage sealed an evil demon within me knowing my life would hell. Have you ever heard of Kyuubi no Kitsune? Well that's the beast my father died sealing within me. Before he died, he wrote a letter to me and guess what it all said? He was asking forgiveness on making my life shitty. He said it was for the good of Konoha that I must burden his sin. My mother has forsaken me and gave me up only raising my twin sister. Yes, don't be surprised a mother can do that to one of her own children. She doesn't have to love me and she did just that. When I was 3 I was kicked out by the orphanage and lived on the street for a year. I had to eat whatever I can find. I had gotten beatings from adults and children for having the demon sealed inside of me. Our leader the third Hokage allowed it, because he couldn't play favorites with me, not when he had a whole village to worry about. This continued on even when I was 12 when I found out the truth about my family and the demon. At least you have a loving family, I wasn't so lucky. So don't you ever tell me that I don't know what suffering is, when you haven't lived a fucked up life. Naruto finished telling him off and walked out the house. Kurenai looked towards Kakashi for answer. She got them when Kakashi placed his head down. Shino respected Naruto more now. His bugs warned him in the past that Naruto was different but he knew it would lead to this. In his view Naruto is a hero. This got him to think a lot about how people treated others. Kiba grew afraid of Naruto. He finally understood what his mother was hinting at when he was younger. In his book Naruto was truly a monster. Sakura was afraid, for she shared Kiba's view on Naruto but she felt somewhat sorry for him. Sasuke was mad. He was mad because Naruto was a cheater and his felt that he was only strong because of the demon sealed inside of him. However, part of him wished to fight Naruto to prove even if he had a dark power, Naruto was still a dobi and a weakling compared to him. Hinata, who already knew from Naruto himself, began to watch everyone closely. She could have gone after Naruto, but she knew he needed his space right now. She chose to stay behind, wanting to know who really his friends and who not. With the corner of her lavender eyes she viewed each of them. Kurenai seemed hurt, probably overhearing Naruto was the fourth son. Kakashi seemed hurt the most. Tazuna and his family seemed sorry for Naruto. Inari sat there not moving, absorbing what Naruto told him. Sakura had a look of confusion. Shino looked back at her and gave a nod, and she found 3 people so far that accepted Naruto. And then there was Kiba and Sasuke. She noticed the looks from them and knew they did not see Naruto as a human being. This started to make her mad and she didn't want to be around them. Hinata got up from her seat and she walked towards the staircase looking right back at Sasuke and Kiba who seemed to notice her glare. You two make me sick. Hinata said clearly without shuddering. She walks up the stairs not paying attention to them or anyone. Fine, I guess Hinata is a demon lover after all. Kiba said, no longer caring what she thought or anyone else thought. Kiba, Kurenai scorns him. How dare you Kiba, now you're going to judge Hinata. Shino got in his face, finally losing his cool. Why are you making it such a big deal for? Kiba's right, Naruto's a lowly monster. So if Hinata wants to be stupid and go with a demon, then she's a demon lover. Sasuke said, backing Kiba up. What's wrong with you two? Didn't you hear what he said? His own father sealed WS a demon in him, he's a victim. Tazuna snapped WS at both the boys. That boy is a hero, you two. His very will is what keeps that beast lock away. Kurenai explainos to them. Is it true? Did his own mother abandon him? Tsunami said, trying to be calm. His mother Uzumaki Kushina did more than just abandon him. Shit tried to kill him, Kakashi nervously explained to everyone. Sakura looked like she wanted to cry more. Shino stared at Kakashi in disbelief. Kiba and Sasuke showed no sign of regret or sorrow. Tazuna's mouth hung open. Inari ran upstairs crying, and Tsunami growled and walked away to a corner cursing to herself. Kurenai took it the hardest as she couldn't believe hearing Kushina did something so low. Her friend Enko looked up to both Minato and Kushina, and if she heard that Kushina was just like the villager with their hate, it would crush her. Tonight was not a good night for anyone. The next few days Naruto refused to rest in the house. He even turned down Tsunami and Tazuna offered to come back in. Instead he slept outside at the forest. Most of the time Shino and Hinata would join him. But most of the time Shino left both Naruto and Hinata spend a night alone while he stayed close by. Kiba and Sasuke avoided Naruto like the plague itself. While Sakura kept her distance but would sometime try to talk to Naruto, though he still acted cold around her and said he doesn't want her pity. Kakashi had gotten better and continued to train his team, and the same went for Kurenai and her team. Hinata and Shino no longer said anything to Kiba. Both senseis feared for the worse and tried their best to fix this problem. Once in a while they got along with each other, but the damage was done. Everything changed one morning when Naruto slept outside. One morning, Naruto slept outside. His body appeared to be worn out, a sign of the training he had done. This time he didn't have Shino or Hinata with him. A hand reached out towards him, and out of nowhere Naruto grabbed the hand. He opened his eyes and in front of him stood a very beautiful young girl. She had long black hair going down her shoulders blades, she wore a pink kimono, and in her arms she carried a basket full of herbs. She almost as beautiful as Hinata-chan. However, something's not right about her. She's carrying herbs. I may not be a doctor, but I know what those herbs do. They're supposed to heal body wounds. I wonder. Naruto thought to himself. You shouldn't sleep here, you'll freeze to death, said the beautiful girl. I wasn't sleeping, just resting my eyes, Naruto said to the girl. But still, are you a shinobi? She asks him. Well, my headband says I am. He tried to joke. However, she didn't laugh but smiled a little. Sorry, I'm corny. It okay, so why were you here again? Naruto briefly explained the reason why he was outside, though he made sure not to reveal anything too important. Naruto as a test brought up his teammates' names on purpose. Haku asked him if they were precious to him. You said, are they precious? What is precious? Well, to me, one only becomes truly strong when protecting their precious people. But what if those precious people are really wolves in sheep clothing? What do you mean? Haku asks him. I have few people who I consider to be my friends. I thought I had a lot of so-called precious people, but guess what? They backstabbed me, calling me a monster, and that I'm useless. Is that what you called precious people, Ms. Hunter-san? The girl's body tensed up for a moment, and finally she relaxed a little, though not dropping her guard at all. How did you know? The herbs you're carrying are for healing bad wounds. I would know, for when I was young people would try to kill me for something I have no control over. Our village leader used some herbs on me to heal me, though I didn't need it at all. Then you're just like me, I also lived a hellish life, Haku said to Naruto. That's why I find it hard to believe in having a precious person. It seems fake to me and a load of shit, Naruto said with no remorse. That is your view about it, but you are wrong. When I was young I was from a family of farmers, except my mother had a blood limit ability of ice. However, the land we were from is afraid of those who had special abilities. Normal people view them as monsters or demons. I too have the same ability as my mother. My father found out and gathered a mob. They killed my mother and proceeded to kill me. I was so scared that I used my ice power to kill them, including my own father. For months I traveled from one place to the next, living off whatever I could find. I ate from trash cans, and even went so far as to fig a mother dog over food. To everyone else around me I was unimportant. Then one day I met him. Zabuza, Naruto answered for her. Yes, Zabuza-senpai. He found me on the bridge and noticed my condition. I told him he had the same eyes as me. This is true as he was just like me. He knew pain and suffering all too well. I wasn't afraid of him because he acknowledged me while no one else did. He trained me and raised me as his daughter and as his weapon. Haku explained to Naruto. Then he is using you. It's just like what I'm trying to say, Naruto snapped back. If he wanted to use me he wouldn't teach me how to be normal. Yes, he trained me to be his weapon, but he also gave me a reason for living. You are a shinobi also. You should know that in the way of the shinobi we're to be tools waiting to be used as seen fit. I do not think you are alone, in fact I believe you will find your special someone, or you may have already. So now after hearing what I said, what will you do? We are enemies after all. Haku explained to him. I won't do anything to you. After all, you did come unarmed today. You have also lived an unfair life like me. In fact, you're free to go. Is that wise? I could reveal some info to my senpai about you. Haku told him. I don't mind if you do, it just makes life interesting. What's your name, girl? Naruto asks. Momochi Haku, she replied back. Naruto, just Naruto, I don't have a last name or a family. He gave his name, meaning every word he said. Well, Naruto, I must go and hurry back to Zabuza-senpai. She bowed to him and began to walk away. Haku, Naruto called out to her. Haku turned around and she looked at him. Yes, I will prove to you the ugly side of so-called precious people. I will show you at all cost. He warned her. Haku looks at him strongly. She turned around and continued walking away. She passed Hinata on the way, who stared at her strangely. Hinata wondered why a beautiful teenage girl was near her Naruto-kun. She looked towards Naruto for some answers, only to notice he had a grim look full of disdain and odium of his face. Hinata figured this girl did or tried something to get on Naruto's bad side. She wanted to follow this girl and would have, but she'd lost plain sight of her. Don't bother Hinata-chan, she's no normal girl. That was Zabuza's so-called hunter ninja. Naruto flat out told her. What did she want? Hinata asked Naruto. She wanted to talk about precious people. That's all she wanted to talk about. Come, let's head back and we will not tell the senseis about this. Naruto ordered Hinata. But nah, Naruto-kun. Just trust me, she didn't learn anything about your team or mine. She did tell me she lived a mess-up life like I had. Come, let us go before Dog Boy and Duck Ass start signing my death paper in pride. He walked away with Hinata following him. A few mornings later, Kakashi, Kurenai, Shino, and Hinata stood over Naruto while he was sleeping. Naruto has been pushing himself a lot, but now he needs his rests. Shino explained to the two Jonin. It can't be helped. For now we do this without him. Kakashi explained to everyone in the room. Yes, I agree, for we do not know if Gato will retaliate by attacking Tazuna's family. With Naruto here, he can protect them from any threat. Kurenai added while leaving. Kakashi followed after her, leaving only Shino and Hinata in the room. Oh Naruto, please be safe. Hinata said, kissing his lips lightly as Naruto grunted and turned in his sleep. Take care Naruto and look after Tsunami and Inari. Shino said, escorting Hinata out the room with him. 30 minutes later, Team 7 was walking with Tazuna to the bridge, unaware of the mist around them. They arrived at the bridge itself, and to their surprise a horrific scene awaited them. They found bodies of the bridge workers lying motionless on the ground. Sakura wanted to go check them along with Tazuna, but Kakashi warned them not to move. Look at that boy, he shivers in fear, poor thing. Zabuza's voice echoed throughout the mist. 4 Zabuzas appeared, surrounding them from each side. Go on Sasuke. Kakashi encouraged him to make the first move. Sasuke quickly dispatched the Zabuza clones with a kunai, and he did it in a blink of an eye. I tremble with excitement, not fear. Sasuke replies back to wherever Zabuza hiding. Come out Zabuza. Kakashi replied while looking ahead. The mist cleared a little to show not only Zabuza but the fake hunter ninja now known as Haku, standing by his side. They look pretty chummy to me. I'd say they've been pulling scams like that for a long time. Kakashi said, looking at both of them. He's got some nerve facing us again after a trick like that. Sakura said with a pissed off look. And hiding behind a mask. Who does he think he's fooling? Kakashi added in. This got Sakura to get a heated look toward her sensei while voicing her opinion. Speak for yourself, sensei. Stand aside, they're mine. Sasuke said, losing his patience with them. What? Sakura said, unsure what Sasuke going to do. Who does he think he's fooling, hiding behind that mask like some sort of clown? Sasuke said, eyeing the fake hunter ninja. Sasuke-kun, you're so cool, she said with heart-shaped eyes. Unbelievable, I just said that. Sakura, you never change? Kakashi thought to himself. Haku, it seems that one could be a rival for you, Zabuza calmly said while glaring at Sasuke, but not taking his eyes off the others. So it seems, Haku replied back calmly. Haku, we're on the clock here, try not to play too much around with your prey. Zabuza ordered Haku to make this quick. Understood, Zabuza-senpai. Haku quickly disappeared and reappeared right in front of Sasuke. She pulled out a kunai with her right hand. Sasuke did the same with his left hand. Both of them blocked the attack, holding each other in place. It seems you're helpless, Haku said to Sasuke. This got Sasuke to give a puzzled look. Kakashi, you're no fun, trying to snag an ambush on us. It won't work, Zabuza taunted. Then all of a sudden a water dragon appeared from the water right under the incomplete bridge. Kakashi became puzzled, for he did not see when Zabuza performed the jutsu, let alone figure out when Zabuza realized that this was a trap. Kakashi's thoughts was answered when he noticed the Zabuza he was looking at was a water clone. The real one was behind his clone, barely visible within the mist. Kakashi got himself ready to intervene when he noticed the water dragon went in a different direction. Kakashi understood where it was going. He screamed out for Team 8 to move out from their hiding spot. Meanwhile, Sasuke had a front row seat to witnessing Haku perform a single hand sign seal. Haku stomped on the ground with her right foot, secret art, 1,000 needles of death. The splashes of waters surrounding them on the bridge went up in the air. They formed blue needles and surrounded Sasuke. Haku back flipped out the way to avoid being caught within this jutsu. Sasuke crouched down and gathered chakra through his legs. In both moments, Haku and Zabuza's attacks hit their mark. Except both their attacks missed their targets. Team 8 appeared next to Kakashi, and Sasuke reappeared to Haku's back. He readied the kunai, sending it towards Haku's head. Haku sensed it coming. She dropped down to avoid the kunai, only to be gazed by Sasuke, who kicked her in the face right at her mask. The impact sent her flying back towards Zabuza, where she quickly regained her balance. She stood up and walks to the center of the bridge. Haku, this warm-up is done. Let's finish this, Zabuza said with a serious look. Hi, she replied back. Kiba, Hinata helped Sasuke against that boy. Shino helped Sakura protect Tazuna just in case me and Kakashi failed to hold Zabuza back. Kurenai ordered her team. Roger that, but that isn't a boy, it's a girl. Akamaru and I have her sent, Kiba said while Akamaru barked in agreement with his master's comment. Hinata and Kiba rushed to Sasuke's side. All four of them including Akamaru surrounded Haku from each side. Zabuza placed his right hand on the hilt of his sword, Kabikari Hucho. Zabuza let out a chuckle which sent chills down Kurenai and Kakashi's backs. Bad move, you just sent your genin to their deaths. Everyone but Haku was wondering what he meant, then they noticed Haku shouting. Secret art. Mikio Hyosho, crystal ice mirrors. A dome of mirrors made out of ice appeared, each of them surrounding Haku's opponents. This sent chills down Sasuke, Kiba, Akamaru, and Hinata's backs. They fear this was just the beginning of their nightmare. With Naruto. Naruto woke up, he got out of his futon bed and got dressed. Hinata, Shino, where are you? Hinata, Shino? He called out to them but got no response. He walked out the room and checked each of the rooms where the others were staying. He found no one there. So he went downstairs and found Tsunami and Inari in the living room doing some yarning. Where's everyone? He asked Tsunami. Oh, you're up. They went with my father to finish building the bridge, she answered. Then I will join them, Naruto stated as he headed for the door. Naruto, wait, are you sure you should be moving about? Tsunami asked him, for she worried that he still might be tired. Naruto placed his scarf around his bottom face and covered his whisker marks. I'm fine, no need to worry over me. He walked out the door. His goal for today was fighting the demon of the mist and Haku. Naruto jumped into the trees, traveling from one branch to the next. His thoughts were on Haku. He thought it a joke that having a precious person could give you strength. Even those he found it a joke, some part of him believed what Haku meant. However, those he considered close or what he called followers Sure, he saved them, but only because they have some use. Hinata was different, even though a part of him believed her to be his follower. There were some days where he saw her differently. Almost like he considered her to be very precious. Naruto stopped on one tree deep in thought. Is it possible that my pretending to get her to do what I want is just a ruse? Can it be that she means much more to me? I guess she'd be perfect as my equal, but... His thoughts came to an end. The reason for this was because he saw a couple of trees and boars were cut down. Naruto took the guess that Gato sent his thugs, and judging by the path of broken trees and dead boars, the trail led back to Tazuna's house. Naruto was left with two options. He could continue on trying to reach his teammates, not caring what happened to the brat and his mother, or he could go back and save them in. Naruto chose the second option after thinking it over. Besides, he needed to unleash some pent-up rage. He turned towards the path and headed back to the house. With Hinata, Kiba and Akamaru are already down and not breathing. Sasuke is barely keeping up, and I cannot land a hit and took much damage from those senbon of her. She's fast, too fast. Naruto-kun, please hurry. Hinata thought while going into her Hyuga fighting style stance. Sasuke was growling as his newly Sharingan eyes could barely keep up. Every fireball jutsu he used never hit their mark. Haku was too much for him to handle. Haku proved to be stronger than he was. I won't accept this. I am elite. None are stronger than the Uchiha clan. He yelled out in rage. This was Sasuke's last remake, for he was swept off his feet by Haku in an extreme burst of speed. Sasuke was stuck in mid-air as senbon needles struck him from every mirror. To Hinata's horror, she witnessed Sasuke's body becoming a needleball. The attack stopped and Sasuke hit the floor pretty hard. With little strength he stared at Haku. His mind viewed Haku as a different person. This person looked like him but older, and his eyes filled with coldness. But what made it worse was this person had the Sharingan. You are weak, cling to life, foolish little brother. A voice said from a distant past. Then this same person transformed into Naruto. You Uchiha are not great. It's no wonder they were killed off, good ridden. Screw you Itachi, Naruto. Sasuke said with the last of his strength, and then he closed his eyes and stopped breathing. Haku in each mirror, stared at the boy with pity. I warned each of you. I will do anything to make Zabuza-senpai's dream come true. I too fight for someone. Alright, now Aichi's counting on me. Hinata replied back to her attacker. Do what you must, for I will not be held responsible for I will do. The Hakus warned Hinata as they prepared to continue this. Hinata activated her Byakugan again. With Inari. You were spared, kid, now you should feel lucky. Said the thug with the silver hair. Don't you harm him, or bite aw. Tsunami yelled before she got hit on the back on her head by the same silver hair thug, knocking her out. Mom. Inari grew very scared for his mother and his own life. Now you brat, give our regards to Kaiza. Said the man with the eye patch. Both he and his silver-haired partner unsheathed their swords. They charged at the boy and slashed with their swords. When they looked where the boy was standing, he was gone. Not even a drop of blood was on the ground. Hey losers, over here. The two thugs turned around and see not only the boy and his mother, but also a blonde spiky-haired boy wearing all black, with an orange scarf covering his bottom face. You two are already dead, you just don't know it. Naruto said in a dark tone. You little punk, you're dead, shouted the one with the eye patch. Before they could even move, two Narutos appeared from behind them. Both of them kicked the thugs in the back of their heads, knocking them out. Inari, untie your mother. Naruto ordered the boy, while he walked up to the two thugs. He griped his kunai handle as he picked up the silver-hair guy by his chin with two of his fingers. Naruto, what are you? Inari didn't get a chance to finish his question, for he witnessed Naruto slicing open the silver-haired thug's throat. Blood gushed from the now open neck. This was the second time Inari had witnessed blood or a person's death in front of him. Naruto wasted no time and dropped the man down like he was trash. He moved to the next guy and instead of slicing out the man's neck, he drove the other kunai down on the man's forehead. Blood splashed on Naruto's face, the man died instantly. Naruto didn't care if this shocked Inari as he piled the two men up together and kicked them into the water. The water around the dead bodies began to turn red. Inari wanted to throw up, but Naruto grabbed him by the collar. Listen up, kid, if I left them alive they would just try to attack you and rape your mother. We live in a world where the weak is always stepped upon, there is no hero. We shinobi are not heroes, we just carry out our missions. Sometimes our mission will involve protecting people, other times it involves killing innocent people. If you want to be saved then become a hero, crying will do nothing but bring you more pain. I gave that up a long time ago, so stop crying and learn to walk on your own 2 feet. I have no time for this, my mission is not over. He dropped the kunai into water, then he jumped into the trees leaving Inari to his own thoughts. With Shino, Sakura stand guard, Shino ordered her, "What about Sasuke-kun?" The girl replied back in fear. "We cannot help him or the others. The moment we move to Zuna-san will be put in danger." Shino explained to the pink hair girl. "What about your bugs?" Sakura asked him. "For some reason this mist is messing with my bugs' senses. They cannot get a fix on what's going on." Shino explained. "You brats don't have what it takes to be considered shinobi." A voice from behind them said. Shino, Tazuna, and Sakura slowly turned around to be greeted by a kneeling Zabuza holding his sword. Zabuza swung his Kabikari Hucho, attempting to cut Tazuna from his midsection before either Shino or Sakura could react. The sword stopped in its place by a kunai. Kakashi was using whatever strength he could muster to hold Zabuza's attack back. Kurenai appeared behind Kakashi doing hand signs. "Move you 3 now," Kakashi ordered them. Shino and company did not protest. They grabbed Tazuna and moved across the misty bridge. Kurenai's body vanished along with Kakashi and Zabuza found himself pinned to a tree against his will. Kurenai appeared within the tree above Zabuza. "Oh please, this genjutsu will not finish me off so easily," Zabuza said, and he suddenly bit down on his bottom lip underneath his mask. He broke out the genjutsu using his pain. He back-kicked Kurenai from behind him and quickly flipped Kakashi over him when Kakashi tried to thrust a kunai into his chest. The result led Kakashi dropping his kunai and crashing on top of Kurenai, their faces barely touching each other. Kurenai didn't have time to feel embarrassed, for she saw Zabuza coming from the sky with his sword. Kurenai grabbed Kakashi and rolled him over with her on her right side. This led to Zabuza crashing his sword down on the ground, nearly missing them. Kakashi and Kurenai got up ready to attack back, but Zabuza jumped back a few feet. With Hinata, Hinata could barely stand. Her opponent had attacked her legs too many times with those senbon needles. She was slowing down and breathing hard. Hinata saw no chance of winning this, for her opponent too strong and fast. She believed she was going to die. She dropped to her knees in pain. Hiku decided to end this now so she could help Zabuza out with his opponents and deal with the other genin. She leaned a little bit out of the mirror. This was her biggest mistake. She didn't see the shuriken star until after it hit her in the face. Luckily her mask was still on, but the impact still knocked her out of the mirror. Hinata looked in front of her and saw her savior. Naruto was standing with his back turned. Naruto-kun, she weakly let out. With Zabuza, the mist cleared a little to show only Naruto, and Hinata with Hiku struggling to get up. Zabuza grew angrily over seeing the blonde boy again. He grit his teeth in anger in remembrance of the last time they met. Zabuza threw some shuriken at the blonde. They did not get any closer to their target, for Hiku blocked each of them with a senbon needles. "Zabuza-senpai, please do not inference. I will be the one to take care of him," Hiku pleaded with Zabuza. Zabuza thought it over. "Fine, finish him. We're wasting enough time as it is." He ordered her to stop going easy on them. With Naruto, "Naruto-kun, we must work together," Hinata tried to convince her love. "I see no need to for that. Just leave now, you in the way," he responded. But Hinata pleaded out. "You have no concern for your teammates. That boy with the dog tried to attack me. They were the first to fall, then the Uchiha boy did the same, except he lasted longer. None of them listened to girl's warning, and now you're making the same mistake as they did. I warned you when we met. As long as I have something to protect, I will keep getting more strength," Hiku explained while merging back in the ice mirrors. "Like I care, Kiba and Sasuke are weak against me." He went through some hand signs. He breathed big and opened his mouth. Fire style, fireball jutsu. He let out a fireball that headed to where the real Hiku was at, hitting its target. Naruto smirked, thinking she would emerge, but his smirk ended when he noticed nothing happened. Then a rain of senbon needles hit him from all directions. Naruto cried out pain. How was she able to attack him like that? He pulled out his shuriken and was about to throw them, but instead he got pushed out the way by someone. The rain of senbon hit Hinata instead of Naruto. Naruto watched with horror on what she done. Naruto-kun alive, she said with her last strength and fell back onto the ground. Naruto felt a part of him die. He hadn't felt this much concern for someone other than the time when Iruka took the hit for Naruto from Mizuki's Fuma shuriken. That time it made Naruto felt weak and worthless. Now Hinata had fallen to protect him. She could barely stand, and yet somehow she gathered enough strength to time Haku attacks and push Naruto out the way. Naruto's face twisted with hate, his eyes already changing into the Kyogen. Haku, through the reflection of the mirrors, noticed the change in his eyes. She felt something dark about those eyes. "I'm going to force you to kill yourself," Naruto screamed out, trying to find the real Haku. Haku started to think he may have a bloodline like herself, his shouting giving it away. She figured that if his eyes had the ability to make a person kill themselves, then she must take him out quickly. She began to attack over and over each time he got closer in finding her. She kept quickly jumping from one mirror to the next. Finally Naruto dropped to one knee. He kept cursing out and growing angrier. Then his head started to hurt, his Kyogen deactivating. "Oh, no, I need more power." "Do you wish for more power?" "Who said that?" Naruto said while getting attacked in his back by the senbon. "Do you wish for more power?" The demonic voice said again, but this time within Naruto's head. Naruto took a guess what it is, but he didn't think it could talk to him. "Kyuubi," he whispered, unsure if he was hearing things or not. "If you want to live, take my power and destroy that child. I don't need your help. I can do this on my own," Naruto snapped back. Haku stopped attacking him and noticed that Naruto was arguing with no one. She assumed he had lost it. She stood in her mirror, unsure on what to do. "You little brat, I will not die because of you." Everything went dark for Naruto in a brief second. Then he found himself inside a sewer with a room and pipes. Naruto followed the noise, which sounded like loud breathing. The path took him to a big room with a giant cage. A seal was attached on the top of the cage. Naruto got close enough to read the seal, but he couldn't understand it. Luckily Naruto jumped back in time, for a giant claw tried to impale him, but the cage kept it from going any further. "Curses brat, if only this gate wasn't in the way," said the voice behind the cage. Two big red eyes appeared on the other side of the bars, its mouth smirking, showing off all of its teeth. "So you're the fox that bastard sealed inside me? You don't look like much. Man, that yellow flash bastard must have been weak to deal with a weak fox like you." Naruto taunted the fox, knowing it couldn't break free. "Keep it up, you brat, soon you'll let your guard down and then you're mine. Keep dreaming, fox. All you're doing right now is distracting me from fighting. Because of you my Kyogen got deactivated," Naruto said back to the fox. "How could you use your eyes if your opponent's too fast? Face it, you insect, your opponent is too strong and fast. You're just an ant trying to kill a spider. Watch your mouth, demon." Naruto snapped back at the demon fox. "Or what, pray tell, are you going to do if I don't? It's because of your cockiness that you got that Hyuga killed. And now you'll be joining her. You were helpless then and you're helpless now." Naruto jumped on the bars, trying to shake it. "Take that back, I'm not helpless and you won't disrespect Hinata-chan. You want to prove me wrong? Then take my power and crush that ice user. Give me it. Give me your power," Naruto demanded. The fox smiled more, knowing it could push him in the way it wanted him to do. Red chakra came from the floor and grabbed Naruto. It started to coat him in its evil energy. With Haku, "I must end this now." She charged out the mirror and straight for Naruto with a kunai in her right hand this time. As soon as she got within 5 feet towards Naruto, a wave of foul chakra pushed her back. She landed back safely and noticed Naruto's body healing. His whiskers marks were darkening, but what scared her mostly was his eyes. He had the eyes of a fox. Then she noticed red chakra leaking out of his body. Part of the chakra went up in the air, taking form of a red evil-looking fox. It howled, sending chills throughout her body. Naruto himself let out a howl. His howl sent waves of red chakra against the mirrors. The impact of the waves actually shattered the ice mirrors. In a split second Naruto appeared in front of Haku and sent out a barrage of punches. Haku blocked a couple of them, but the aura around his body started to burn her the moment he hit her body. Her mask started to crack under the force Naruto was unleashing on her. Naruto sent one final punch, an uppercut punch. The attack hit Haku in her mask. She went flying a good distance away from him. The mask finally broke, her face revealed with a smile. A smile showing she was going to die. She struggled to stand on her own 2 feet, all the while holding her hands out accepting death. Zabuza, no father, please forgive me. I have failed you as a weapon. The only thought going through her head. Naruto ran on all fours like a beast. Haku closed her eyes and accepted the death that awaited her. Instead she got slapped across her face, causing her to fall over. She looked up at Naruto, noticing his features returning back to normal. She weakly stood up, almost falling over again. Why didn't you kill me? I killed your teammates. She voiced her thoughts out in confusion. You lost the will to fight, and besides, let's just say a part of me wanted you dead, but I don't take its orders. What you've done to Sasuke and Kiba, I don't give a damn, but Hinata is a different story. It pains me to say this, but you may have been right about precious people. It felt like I heard her voice in my head telling me not to kill you. Haku smiled at hearing that. That's a weak emotion I must keep in check. Emotion like that must not turn me from my path. Naruto thought to himself. She must be someone special to you. Haku said to Naruto. Why, yeah, she is. Naruto meant what he said. Haku sensed something wrong concerning Zabuza. I'm sorry, but there is one last thing I must do. Haku vanished in such speed, leaving Naruto behind to his own thoughts. Naruto didn't care anymore. To him she proved she was strong, but her attachment for others would get her killed. But he couldn't blame her, as he knew deep down he felt the same way for some. Naruto planned to keep an eye on things. If he saw signs of something or someone trying to prevent him from pursuing his path to his dream, then he would do what he must, no matter the cost. He wasn't paying attention to his surrounding, and somehow he found himself standing over Hinata's body. He picked her up and started to walk away with Hinata in his arms. The mist started to fade away, and Naruto noticed Sakura with Tazuna coming towards him. Naruto walked past her, paying her no mind. He noticed Shino looking in shock at him, then he heard Sakura screaming and crying. Kurenai, who was badly hurt, ran up to Naruto as he set Hinata gently in front of her. Kurenai, like a worried mother, started to cry and check her over. Naruto walked up in front of Kakashi, and right behind Zabuza. Both men were looking over across the bridge, watching some short guy in a suit and sunglasses kick Haku's lifeless, bloody body. He wasn't alone, for he had an army of bandits with him, armed to the teeth. You just going to let that old fart do that, her? Naruto said with much force and venom in his tone. Shut it, brat. Haku is dead and useless to me. Zabuza said with his back turned and arms hanging down with blood and stab marks on them. This girl saw you as a precious person, and this is how you repay her. She looked up to you and was trained by you for a long time. And you just stand there and allow some coward put his foot on her? I guess Haku is wrong about protecting something that is precious. Naruto yelled at him. Naruto, enough. Kakashi said while on his knees. You stupid brat. Don't you dare say Haku was wrong. She was always kind and pure. She couldn't even kill people or any other life. Her heart was too pure for her to become a demon like I. Zabuza yelled back at Naruto with his tears coming down. Haku didn't kill anyone? But Hinata? Naruto looked toward Hinata and noticed she was breathing now. Kakashi-sensei, Naruto, Sasuke-kun and Kiba, and Akamaru are alive. Sakura cheered out, holding Sasuke with the other by her side. Men, I want you to kill Tazuna and his little helper, heck, kill Zabuza too. I wasn't going to pay Zabuza anyway, you guys can get his cut. The man now recognized as Gato ordered out to his men. Kid, your words cut deeper than any sharp blade. Kakashi, our fight is over, throw me a kunai. Zabuza said while uniting his bandage's mouthpiece with his teeth. Here. Kakashi threw him a kunai and Zabuza caught it with his teeth by the handle. Zabuza ran forth and started to slash at every bandit while taking fatal hits from some who were still alive. By the time Zabuza got to Gato, he had a lot of spears and swords attached to his back. Blood running down his body like a fountain. He fell to his knees in front of Gato. If you're in such a hurry to be reunited with your little friend, go alone. Gato said to the demon of the mist. Zabuza got back up barely. I have no intention of going to the same place as Haku. What are you babbling about? He grew scared of Zabuza being this close to him. Hey, I'm taking you with me, to hell. Even an ogre in name only, a washout from Kirigakure village, can become a real demon in how he meets his death. Once we're in hell I can take my time, and show you over, and over, who is, or is not, a baby demon. Zabuza slashed and thrust the kunai into Gato's neck and chest. This caused Gato to fall off the bridge into a watery grave. Zabuza dropped on both knees, getting impaled from behind by the bandits' weapons. The bandits grew angry and decided with Gato gone they needed to raid the village. Then an arrow appears in front of them in the ground. Far behind the Konoha ninja were the people of the Waves village. They were armed with weapons and armor, and the one leading them is Inari with his mother by his side. Naruto took advantages of the bandits' confusion. He pulled out kunai in both of his hands and charged at them. Naruto, stop! Kakashi yelled out, however it went on deaf ears. Naruto secretly activated his Kyogen and started attacking the bandits. He slit one bandit's neck to the next, and when some bandits tried to fight back he would look at them, causing them to kill themselves by slitting their necks or impaling their own eyes, or cutting their own heads off. Kakashi was about to summon some shadow clones until he saw the bandits killing themselves while Naruto looked at them. He didn't know what was going on, he didn't even see Naruto's eyes. Sakura grew scared watching what happened before her. Sasuke and Kiba were in more shock. Akamaru whimpered in pure fear. Shino couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. Kurenai held Hinata closely watching in fear. Hinata saw something in Naruto's eyes when he quickly turned to the next opponent. She didn't know what it is, but she knew Naruto's eyes were different from his blue color's ones. She tried to call out to him but her voice was too weak, and then she lost consciousness. When it was over only Naruto stood standing bathed in blood that was not his own. His eyes went back to normal and his back turned to his viewers. The next day, Haku did not die at the Battle of the Bridge. Shockingly enough she survived the lightning blade sent at her heart which missed by an inch. She lay tiredly at a hospital half awake to the world. Naruto quietly entered her room and he walked up to her bed. I guess you were right about having unknown strength. Zabuza died taking down half the bandits and Gato himself before being taken down himself. It was amazing he was so weak and yet he kept going. As for the rest of the bandits I took care of that. We thought you were dead until I checked you over, and rushed you and Hinata to the hospital. You were saved in time. And I want to thank you for not killing Hinata-chan. Zabuza wanted to make sure you live a good life, that was his last wish for you. Naruto lied about that last part. When you get better look me up in Konoha in the Land of Fire. Maybe you can show me more of this strength. He said his final piece and left her room leaving her to her own thoughts. A week later, since the events at the bridge, the problems in Wave were over. Naruto had become a hero to the people of Wave. Even through violence the people saw him as a hero who freed them from a hell they were trapped in. Hinata and Shino were the only ones able to be around Naruto. Everyone including Kurenai grew much more afraid of him. They have returned back to Konoha, and now we find Kakashi and Kurenai in the third Hokage's office. And that what exactly happened Lord Hokage? Kakashi explained everything that had happened during the Wave mission. I see, but that doesn't fully explain how Naruto was able to get those men to kill themselves. The third said, Lord Hokage, he told Kakashi and me that he used the Kyuubi eyes to frighten them. This we can vouch for as we did sense the fox's chakra while battling Zabuza. Kurenai explained a little more clearly. I'm going to have to call Jiraiya back. He must see the seal and make sure the fox is not trying to escape. I believe the fox is somewhat controlling Naruto and maybe forcing him to do things he normally wouldn't do. The third explained to both Jonin. That would explain his behavior lately. Kakashi said calmly. I want to believe that but I get a feeling that's not the case here. Kurenai said to both men. The third was about to answer that but he sensed someone at the door. Enter, he ordered that person to enter the room. A Anbu ninja wearing a mask and a white coat entered the room with two other people. Tenzo, why are you here? You're supposed to be watching. The third noticed a woman with red hair and a young girl with red hair except she looked like a female version of Naruto. Kakashi stood in shock. Kurenai grew angry but tried to remain calm. Hello old man, I'm here to see my son. The red hair woman said calmly with a hurt look in her eyes. Kushina, Naruto will be back later next month. For now you and Carrie stay in my manor. The third lied to her face. A month later, genin from different lands began to enter the leaf. The reason for this is that the Chunin exam is being held here in the Hidden Leaf. Kushina and Carrie walked around village seeing how much the village has changed. They were so lucky not to run into Naruto, but that's only because they stood around the rich district and Naruto hung out at the poor district. Today the council would order Naruto to their meeting. It will be there where Naruto will see his family he no longer cared for. The meeting would discuss Naruto's duties as an heir to the Namikaze clan, and his future. With Naruto. Hinata-chan, Shino, I want you to meet Team 9. Naruto said, introducing them at his favorite ramen shop. Hello everyone, she shyly said. Nice to meet you all, Shino said calmly. Hello, I'm Sachi, said Sachi. Nice to meet you all also, I'm Kira. I'm Renji and I must hand it to you Naruto, I didn't think you were so smooth with the ladies. Renji said with newfound respect for Naruto. Think I try my best with my girl Hinata. I mean we're not officially boyfriend and girlfriend yet, but that will change soon. He placed his arms around Hinata and kissed her on the lips. Hinata blushed very red but returned the kiss. Uzumaki Naruto, you are to report to council room, said a female Anbu with purple hair. Naruto paid her no mind on purpose. This made the Anbu woman angry. Hey kid, are you trying to make me mad? I said Uzumaki Naruto, you are to report to the council room. I heard you the first time, but remember this and please do. I am not a stinking Uzumaki, I'm just Naruto and nothing more. The woman looked at quietly, just be there, she vanished in a leaf shunshin. Hey guys, how about you join me in the council meeting as my guests? Naruto asked them. I don't know. The council just wants you and only you. Sachi said to Naruto. Do you always do what you told, and besides you get to see me in action against the old farts. Naruto reassured them. Team 9 looked at each other and then nodded. Okay, we'll go with you, but remember our deal. Sachi reminded Naruto. Hinata-chan, Shino, I need you too also. I got a bad feeling something will happen. It's been like this for a few days now since more genin from different lands kept entering our village. I need you guys for support, can I count on you too? Naruto asked them and got his answer when Hinata kissed him back. Of course, we're your friends Naruto. Shino said calmly. Excuse me. A girl with orange hair in a ponytail approached them. Yeah, what do you want? Whoa. Renji blushed at the orange hair girl. Hi, my name Fuma Sasama and I'm looking for a shop where I can buy some herbs. I'm new in town and not around these parts. Hi, I'm Ren, no I mean Renji. The other Konoha genin smirked at this except for Naruto who didn't care. Sasama giggled a little on how cute Renji was with having such a hard time trying to talk. Sasama, I can show you a couple of herbs shops. Renji said shyly. Please do Renji, right now we must go. Naruto ordered them. What about Renji? Sachi asked Naruto. He's busy at the moment, besides you can tell him what happened. He walked away with Hinata, holding his arms around her. Hinata looked at Naruto in his face, but mainly his eyes. She hadn't forgot what she saw a month ago. She'd been meaning to ask him, but each time she went to go ask him she felt uneasy about it. So for the time being she decided to wait until he brought it up, or if she saw it again she'd ask him. Hinata knew something was bothering him. She can feel it, she felt that today she will get her answer, and it wouldn't be good. That's all for now. If you enjoy it then please like, share and do comments.